welcome to Rapid Reviews Radio Podcast episode. Oh my gosh, I have forgotten. Is it 216, Pete?
Yes.
Okay, 216. We have a very special show tonight. It's going to be kind of crazy, going to be kind of wild. I do kind of encourage you to come check us out.
Actually, hang on. Sorry, no, it's 217. Even I screwed up then.
Oh, 217. Thank you.
Right, start again. Start over. No, I'm kidding. Carry on. No, the show must go on.
Thank you, Mariko Fairfax DC, for following us. Do you want me to really start over?
No, just carry on. Let's go.
Okay, we'll carry on. Carry on.
The show must go on.
Yes, the show must go on. It's live as it happens. You can go check us out at twitch.tv/Rapid Reviews. Come see the chaos for yourself. Join in to chat. We have a lot of fun here, and today is going to be absolutely way fun. Because I know these people, and they're all amazing. It's a panel show, if you haven't guessed. So, it's going to be a little bit of an interesting introduction. I am Kiley Wilde, your co-host for... Well, actually, I'm a guest for today. I'm not actually the co-host. That will be very interesting. Your true host for today is Pete Beckett.
Hello.
But we also have several guests. Returning guest, Miketendo, best friend of the show.
Hello there.
New guest, Gawny.
Hello, how are we doing?
And returning guest, one of my favorites, Ember. Yay!
Hello. It's me.
Yay! I'm so happy. It is going to be a wild time. It's going to be a lot of fun. This is a panel show talking about content creation. And with that, I'm going to toss it back to Pete and say, I love chat right now. And say, Pete, well, wait, how do we want to do this? Do we want to talk about what you've been playing this week?
I guess I can start.
Yeah, Pete, start. Tell us. How's your week been? And what have you been playing this week?
Well, the last 2 weeks have been mental, let's say. Life events have happened. I got married. So
yeah,
and Kiley was over for it, and it was chaotic as usual.
Yes,
but it was very nice.
A lot.
But so
it was nice.
It was a lovely day. Really enjoyed the whole thing.
It was amazing.
Surprisingly, I've actually had time to get some games in, which is weird considering like a huge life event like that. So I'm gonna.
You're a mister now, Pete.
I am a mister. I am a mister. So, my games this week is an extensive list. Some of them will be games that others will talk about, so I will throw that over to them in a moment. So, I've been carrying on with Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. I'm now halfway through Chapter 8, and still really enjoying the game. Not going to talk too much about it, because I think that will require a lot more discussion later on in the year. It's probably coming.
That's what she said.
So I've picked up a few other games this week to play because of Game of the Year, and these are all games that have come out this year, so trying to cross a few off my list. The first one is a game that came out earlier on in the year. It's called Penny's Big Breakaway. So this is the one that was made by the Sonic Mania team.
Right.
It is a 3D rhythm-based platformer, and this is a very interesting prospect because I wasn't expecting this to be as in-depth as it was. I thought, okay, 3D platformer should be interesting, should be right up my alley. It really is. It's a very, very fun game, but a lot of this is all based on momentum and a combo system, which I never expected there to be.
Oh, wow.
So you actually have to use the platforming skills and use the skills available to you to build up as much score as possible whilst avoiding enemies. The main story of it is that Penny has got herself into a bit of a problem after making the king of the area embarrass himself during a performance, and is now on the run for otherwise she would be put in prison forever. So the main enemies that you're being chased by are a bunch of penguins, robotic penguins as such. It's a very, very strange game, but the level design is really interesting on it. It's a very fun, colourful, sort of interesting experience. But I'm probably two worlds through to this, and I can't see it being an overly long game. I've played it for about 2 hours. it's fun. I'd highly recommend it. I picked it up on the cheap on CD keys. It's available on everything, so you can pick it up on whatever you play it on. But I've been playing it on PC. It's mostly a solid experience on there. A couple of little frame drops here and there, but it's a very, very solid game. So I'm actually going to pass this one over to Mike because I know he's been playing this as well, and I'm going to chime in every so often on this.
Oh, nice.
The new game for this week, Mario and Luigi Brothership.
Yeah. I want to hear about that.
You would, wouldn't you? Oh, okay. Well, funnily enough, this is probably going to be one of the times where Pete and I don't agree, because normally we do. Now, I'm quite enjoying it, but then I've never been a huge Mario and Luigi fan. So I've quite liked like Paper Mario, the Paper Mario series, and Super Mario RPG as well. But like the Mario and Luigi series, I've only ever like played Superstar Saga, and I haven't really played any of the others. But this one, I did go into it, you know, a bit reserved, but I'm actually having a lot of fun with it. I'm quite enjoying it.
Cool.
But I know Pete is a bit on the fence. Well, not so much on the fence. He's not particularly liking it, are you,
I'm
mate?
very much off the fence because I played this for 2 hours, and sorry, but my copy is now back in CEX because I did not like this game at all. There is nothing inherently wrong with it. It's just it doesn't hold a lot of the same charm and appeal of the original Mario and Luigi games. This isn't made by Alpha Dream, who made the original series. That studio unfortunately got shuttered a few years ago. So this is another team. Mike, I can't remember who you said that was actually developing this.
Acquire.
Okay.
I think that if you look up the game on Google, that's the name that comes up, and then it says publisher Nintendo.
Okay, so they've changed some of the controls in this. It doesn't feel quite the same. I know VG Mobster in the chat has said that he loves the art style to this game. That was actually one of the things that put me off from the trailers. I didn't like the art style to it. And the art style in motion, I don't feel holds up very well either. It is an interesting area that you play in, so basically you get transported to another world, but the world has actually been disconnected through a tree system that they have, and you have to go back and go onto different areas to try and reconnect it onto the main ship that you're on, which holds the world tree, isn't it? Or the connecting tree, or connector, I think it's called, isn't it? Yeah, so the level design it's okay, I guess. It's bright and colourful at least, but I just think the battle system, like, whilst it is interesting and a lot of it's all command based, all prompt based, it's fine. I just think it doesn't feel quite the same as the original Mario and Luigi games, especially when on the original games you used to control Luigi solely with B, but having to select his skills you have to press A first. That's very confusing.
Yeah,
very weird.
I've heard that a lot in recent reviews and things about the controls being a bit fiscal with because of that sort of selection.
Yeah, and it used to be the case that the hammers were controlled solely on the shoulder buttons, but actually they've put them on the face buttons this time. It takes a lot of time to get used to. Yes. Doesn't feel quite right to me. So there was a lot of problems that I had with the game, but the main concern that I had with this is that it just wasn't very interesting. And it's a bit of a letdown, I'm not going to lie. At 40 quid, I didn't think this was worthy of the purchase, and I couldn't see myself getting into it, so I just went, no, I'm done with this, I can't play anymore. I tried.
I mean, that is understandable, mate. That is understandable. I mean, I'm going to give it a little bit more as well, because I've finally beaten like one of the first bosses of the game, and like learned a few more of the mechanics to it. But I mean, I get where you're coming from with it as well, because I'm not feeling so much the story. I'm not feeling so much like the NPCs and the characters and all that. I'm not really a big fan of their designs. I mean, I'm enjoying the combat, but only to a certain degree, because obviously now I've learned the skills. So now you like kick the shells and things like that. So you kick the shells to each other to, do massive damage to enemies, and using the hammer and stuff like that. So I'm getting into the game now, but yeah, it is a hard sell, especially for like Mario Luigi fans of the series, and then they're going to come around and think, well, this is not what I was expecting or what I wanted. So I get that. I get that.
Yeah. It's fine to disagree, of course. I'm glad that you're getting a lot more enjoyment out of the game than I did, but I just couldn't get into it. I tried my best. And it was bought on a whim. I just saw it on a decent deal and just bought it and tried it. So.
I think I've only seen the first hour or so of it. Like Mike did a video on it recently on his channel, and it looks good from what I'm seeing. But I've only played the first game of that series. I've don't really know much else about it. Mm-hmm. But to me, I always loved Paper Mario more than I loved the Mario and Luigi games, kind of thing. So I'm sort of stuck in. I much prefer those sort of games. But I can see the sort of. How the problem with the latest Paper Mario series is the battle system doesn't seem to work. So is the battle system in this game sort of is it problems in that sort of side as well and the way it plays, or?
No, it's very similar to the original Mario and Luigi games, like in how you pair up with everything that you do, but there's a lot more emphasis this time on the pair up system rather than actually you have your own set of skills. So most of the button prompts that you're going to do are all based on the fact that you get extra damage by using the other brother to do something. That was never necessarily a thing unless you use badge points, in the previous games. Yeah, it's fine.
And there's a lot of bouncing between, like pressing B for Luigi and pressing A for Mario, and bouncing between them.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a bit more forgiving on the prompts, so you do have like a good half a second to actually press the button, which is a lot more forgiving than, like, for example, in like Paper Mario and the 1,000-Year Door, where you have this tiny little window of opportunity to do an extra extra damage and that kind of thing.
And it was even
so
less in Super Mario RPG as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you had to be just right. Split second right on that one.
Yep. So that's unfortunately Brothership for me, so not a game that I will be continuing to play. I hoped it was going to make the Game of the Year. It's not going to, sorry.
When I saw IGN gave it a 5, I was a little bit concerned straight away.
Oh, wow.
I think 5 is a little bit low, but it's not quite more than a 6.5 for me.
Yeah.
So I'll talk very briefly about Balatro. Balatro I picked up and played a couple of hands of it. To those who don't know, it's a roguelike poker game. Very, very, very unusual game, might I add, as well. I haven't played enough of it to make that much of a judgment of it, but I think I probably am going to quite enjoy the game, so I'll see how that goes. But the biggest game that I've been playing, I've played about 3 hours of it so far this morning. The Plucky Squire. So
people have been talking about that.
Those who are unsure about what the Plucky Squire is a adventure game very much in the vein of the classic Legend of Zelda games. And I'm going to say this a lot because it feels very much like, and Gawny, I expect you to know this very well, it feels like a Link Between Worlds.
Do you like that?
So there's a lot of mechanics in here where I don't want to give too much away. You start out it's basically set around a hero called the Plucky Squire who ventures out to go and defeat a mage who then ends up turning your whole world upside down. And no, he's not the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. But ends up taking you out of the storybook into the real world. And you have to find your way between the real world and the storybook again with portals. There's a lot of environmental puzzles involving both planes, and my god, this game is incredibly charming and it's excellent. I'd highly recommend anyone to play this. It's so much fun. It's not a relatively long game. It's probably about 8 hours, I think, maybe 8 to 10. There's a few side things to do as well, but it's very much heavily story focused and highly enjoyable. I absolutely love this game. It's made it a bit of a problem where this could very much is now causing a problem with the Game of the Year list, because I'd never expected to get anywhere close to it, but my god, is it charming.
Wow.
So, yeah, that's what I've been playing this week. So I'm actually going to pass this over to Ember. I want to talk about what you've been playing and how your week's been.
Yes, hello. So this week I've been playing Brighter Shores, if any of you guys have heard of that.
I popped into your stream very briefly the other day. I couldn't stay for long, but I did see you playing this.
Yeah, it's basically the original three brothers, the original three RuneScape creators. It's made by them. They're like three brothers.
All right.
And they've released Brighter Shores, which is new MMO that came out on, I want to say Wednesday.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
Yeah, so it's really new. And it feels quite RuneScape-y.
Yeah.
It feels kind of like a mix between old school RuneScape and RuneScape 3. It's like sort of a nice in-between.
I like that.
So I'd recommend checking it out. It's really solid. It's nice to be sort of at the beginning of an MMO, you know, so we can, you know, I'm looking forward to sort of seeing where it goes and being here from the start. Yeah.
I remember playing RuneScape very early on when that first came out, kind of thing. So that makes me feel old. It's really weird.
Trust me and you both.
Oh, no, absolutely. I love RuneScape. Everyone loves RuneScape. Who doesn't love RuneScape?
Until they ruined it with new RuneScape and they had to bring back old school RuneScape for all those classic fans.
Yeah. That's a good point, actually.
So,
I'm trying to check it on. I'm checking on chat right quick.
Yeah.
Necro says Brighter Shores is great so far. Absolutely. Ned says, yeah, it's always good to be at the beginning of one of those. Well, yeah.
It's also a free game, so.
Oh,
nice.
See, that's even better.
Yeah, it's free. So, you know, it's just a membership based.
Okay.
But so far, I've not felt like, you know, how some games sort of push you to buy membership. There's been none of that so far, you know, which is really nice. There's been no, you can't do this. You've got to be a member, you know.
Oh, yes.
So that's super nice.
That's very good, actually. Because that puts me off a lot.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
It's one of those things that, like you said, it's nice to get at the beginning because get in at the beginning of something, because I've been talking with a couple of my mates about joining Final Fantasy 14 and that game's been out for years and my god, how am I going to gauge that jumping into that?
Final Fantasy 14 is one I want to check out as well, but I kind of look at it and it's like, this is overwhelming. I don't even know where to start.
Right? Exactly.
I think it's the same for most MMOs, though, to sort of jump into it with other people at that sort of stage when it's so far into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's nice to start a brand new one and that everyone's at the same sort of level kind of thing. Maybe.
Right. Well, I don't know, you say that on Brighter Shores, you already get people that are level 200, and it's like,
Oh, wow.
how the heck have you managed that already? Like on day 2, people were already running around level 200. It's like...
To be honest, it was the same as people were playing Call of Duty Black Ops 6 when it first came out. I had a mate who had been on it for 2 days and was already level 60 something. It was like, Jesus, how?
My God.
You have lives? Apparently. So.
He took a couple of days off work.
I was going to say.
I mean, you could, yeah.
Exactly. Necro says the membership doesn't really matter until the 3rd area, I think. So, see, that's really good.
And
that gets you in.
How much is the membership for it? Do you know?
I think it's like £6 a month or something.
Pretty reasonable.
See, that's very reasonable.
I mean, £7.
Either way, it's very reasonable.
It's exactly.
Anything else you've been playing this week?
I've been playing Alien Isolation.
Ooh, nice.
Not a new game.
Doesn't matter.
New to me.
Yes. I played that last week, actually.
Oh, really? Did you finish it?
I did not finish it. I have not finished it. I'm going to be very, very honest right now. And my poor, wonderful chat that was with me. I got bored. But you should get bored in a scary game. But I did. I was like, I couldn't concentrate, couldn't focus. But I still love it. I think it's one of it's a fabulous game. But
yeah, I'm about halfway through now. And it has surprised me. I was just expecting it to be a super short game where you essentially like escape the alien type thing, and I kind of thought that would be it, but no, there's like this whole story. There's like like politics and
Yes!
you know, I'm
It's a
like,
full
wow.
campaign. Exactly. It's
So it's kind of blown me away.
A lot more depth to
I
it
think-
than we first found out, then basically.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, a lot of people, you see what's done, you know, like Let's Plays and even, you know, Twitch and stuff, and you see just the alien part, where, you know, where the xenomorph is hunting you.
Right.
But there's an actual backstory to it. There's a campaign and all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's got a hell of a lot more depth than most of the
Yes.
Alien films put together.
Yes, that is definitely
much,
true.
does it?
That is
No.
so true.
Especially the more recent ones.
Yeah, Prometheus, Romulus,
Absolutely true. Oh my
Covenant.
gosh.
My God. Ugh.
Yeah.
I've never watched any of the films.
Oh, the first two
You're
are
better off.
amazing.
The third one is a car crash, but it's an entertaining car crash.
I was gonna
Okay.
say I actually enjoy it, but then the one that Uwe Boll did, what was that? Pete, was that 4?
He
Was that
did. He don't think he did an Alien film.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. He did the one where Ripley makes the basketball.
Oh, you
From-
mean
from-
if he did Resurrections, then my God, that
Okay.
says a lot.
Possibly.
See, it's so cheesy and so awful that it's good. But it's not good. But it's so awful that you do. I mean, anything Uwe Boll does is terrible, but you want to watch it because it's terribly good, if that makes sense. But after
He
that,
did not do it. Honestly, he did not do it.
did.
But
He did.
no. I'm looking at IMDb right now. Good luck.
he
No,
absolutely did.
one of the writers on it was Joss Whedon.
Yes, that's right. That's
Yeah.
right. Joss
But
do
he
it.
did not direct it. It was Jean-Pierre Jeunet.
I swear Uwe Boll did
No,
one of
no,
the
he did
Alien
not.
films. All right.
No.
Well, I will acquiesce to you, Pete. I will acquiesce to you.
You'll acquiesce to IMDb.
I don't care that. Backwoods Gold says it's like a 40, 50-hour game, isn't it? See, that's
It's
the
not
thing.
quite that long. It's about, I think on how long to beat it says about 19 hours.
I was gonna say, I think it's about 20 hours.
Is that if you're going for a
so 19
completionist run?
Yeah.
That's sort of main story and extras, I think. So
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
sort of
So
see
that's-
how they
that's
get. You can see that they've definitely got a lot of material to work with for a sequel as well, which is going to be great.
Yeah. No, it stands as one of the, for me, it stands as one of the greatest horror games that there is. But I still got bored. but
But it's very hard to entertain you for long periods of time.
I
though.
know, and we'll get to that in a second.
Sure.
So who's next?
So
Gawny's next, huh?
I'm
no.
gonna. Well, I was going to pass this over to both Gawny and Mike because they've got 2 games on their
Oh.
list that they can discuss in a bit more
Ooh,
length.
okay.
So Gawny,
Ooh.
let's
Also,
talk.
chat, that's one bottle down.
Yeah, let's talk about the games that you've been playing this week.
Well, me and Mike have both been heavily into Pokemon trading card game Pocket,
Yeah.
which is
Yep.
a new mobile game that's now available to play. It's basically Pokemon trading card game, but like a smaller version of it and slimmed down to sort of get into it. Is probably
Yeah.
the best way to describe it. It's very addictive, mainly
Yeah.
because it lets you open a free pack every day of like
Oh,
5
that's
cards.
good. That would get me.
And yeah, and it does make you want to carry on opening more cards constantly,
Yeah.
kind of thing. It's rather rewarding getting some nice rare cards in there. I've got some very nice looking arty Charizards and things
Ooh,
in
nice.
there. But
You do indeed, and I'm very jealous because my brother also got that card, and I still haven't
I
yet. It's like,
saw, yes.
Oh gosh.
So this particular one is a Charizard X, but it's got a special artwork, and every time you click into it, it plays like a random video which shows off all the other
Oh, that's
Pokemon
cool.
of that series.
That's cool. That is cool.
of collection you can get. So yeah, me and Jack both put that video on our channels, I think. So
Very good. Very
yeah,
good.
it's been quite good. The battle system, like I said, is basic for that game, but it's quite good for new people to sort of learn it and get into it from this version. I feel it's quite easy to set up to do battles against each other and things like that. And they're going to add extra things in the future, like trading and other sort of events and things. They've got a Lapras event at the moment to get some promotional cards and things like that. But otherwise, yeah, it's been quite a good, interesting game so far. Mike, you got anything further to add on that? Or?
Yeah, I mean, it is, as you said, it is very, very addictive, and I probably wake up far too early to, open up a new deck because, it's time to open up a new pack of cards now, and then playing a few games online. As you said, there are events at the moment, so they've got the Lapras event, which is a solo battle kind of thing, so you play up against an AI, and you can get the promo cards like Gawny has said, and then they've got another one that's like PvP, and then you got to get so many, like, wins, and then you'll get like a new emblem to put next to your name for clout, basically. So it's like get 5 wins, get 25 wins, and get 45. And I currently have got over 45 wins, so I've got like maximum clout at the moment. Not rubbing it in at all.
Not rubbing it in at all.
Exactly.
No. That's taking far too much time. But the thing is that I have been learning the strategies that other people use. So a lot of people are getting really knocked off with like using Mewtwo and having Gardevoir as a support. Now, Gardevoir has this ability where she can give you extra psychic energy cards.
Ooh.
And Mewtwo has an attack where it uses up 2 of those energy cards each time. So you have to have at least 4, and then it uses 2. But when every turn you get a card, and if you have Gardevoir with you as well, when you just keep using it, so you're just doing 150 damage every time. And people get really, really fed up with it. But I have been using other strategies as well, so.
That's very cool.
So would you say that it currently runs off the most recent edition or version of like the TCG system?
Yes and no. There's a couple of things that they have changed. Do you want to talk about it, Gawny? Sorry.
No, I was just going to say that it's not the exact same kind of thing. There's a lot of different features in this game compared to the actual TCG game. One part that they've changed entirely was energy cards. Mm-hmm. So you had to actually sort of draw energy cards from the deck and then place them onto your Pokemon each time. This version, it just sort of lets you have a holding area for the energy, and you're allowed to put 1 on each Pokemon each time. Depending on what sort of deck you have. So if you had just a water-based deck, you'd only have water cards in there. Yeah. But if you had 2 different types, so you had a fire and a water, it would be random between those 2 each time what would appear in your energy selection for that turn. So it's a little bit different in that way, and in some ways the game sort of got a little bit broken because of the way that system works. Yeah. Like Mike was saying, there's like Gardevoir is a great example where you can keep chucking those energies onto individual Pokemon, and then just use those attacks without even having to worry about discarding energies, kind of thing. But there's also others like Moltres is very similar in the fire side. You can just keep pouring fire onto your benched Pokemon. It's the same sort of system. Okay. But what I'd say is a good way to get into the game. I think I'd find, and a cheap way to get into the game because the first pack's free, so you can keep opening it every time and learn the cards and learn it a little bit more first from this game. Then maybe consider going into the actual game itself and playing with in real life and things like that. But overall, it's been a good experience. Nice, and it's been a good experience, and I'd definitely recommend everyone gives it a go at least, and if you're into card games or into Pokemon games at least.
Right, I'm downloading it.
Nice.
Yay!
Hey, you've got me sold as well.
Yeah. I've been waiting for someone to actually there's opinion I trust to talk about it. So there you go.
Pokemon company, send me the check now. And,
It's actually on commission either.
Damn it! I shouldn't have said that. Right, so let's talk about a recent addition to the Switch Online expansion pass service, and a game that I know is near and dear to both your hearts, Banjo-Tooie.
Let me say thank you to Markle Myers for the follow.
Thank you very
so much. Very much. Dinker says, woo! Okay, so begin,
Jeez. Don't even remember the names. She's drunk too much.
I was like Danjo.
Danjo?
Tooie.
Jeez.
Danjo. That's a film, isn't it?
I'm sure it is. I would make it. I'm sure MST.
I mean, Uwe Boll might have made it, but we don't know.
Oh, there you go. There you go. I swear he's done an alien film. I swear. But anyway, yes, go on.
Banjo-Tooie. Basically, it came into the Nintendo Switch Online expansion pass recently, which was an old N64 game. It was the sequel to Banjo-Kazooie. Because it was the sequel, and at the point it came out, it was actually quite a rare cartridge to get hold of at that point on the 64. There wasn't many people who actually picked it up from the 64 version. So it's nice that it's now moved on to be on the Switch Online service in general. Previously, it has been on Rare Replay and the Xbox 360, two different releases on there previously. But this one's slightly different to the Xbox version. It's more like the original hardware, but sort of vamped up a little bit. Is probably the best way I could describe it.
Okay.
It's not. Whereas the Xbox version, they just pretty much clean wiped it, did everything, made it HD, and it runs beautifully, and it even runs in 4K, I believe, in some of the Xbox One X versions. But this version is more true to the 64 version, but it just runs a little bit better, kind of thing, in terms of movement and
improve
things like
the frame rate and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly that. Myself and Mike have been hammering bits of this game to try and promote it and show it off to new people. I've been doing lots of content in terms of getting through some certain sections of the game because it's a lot more complicated than the original Banjo-Kazooie. Banjo-Kazooie is just a basic platformer where you collect lots of things and get to the end of levels and do a few missions to get through and beat the final boss. Banjo-Tooie to me is more of a Metroidvania is probably the best way I can sort of describe it, more than a platformer in this vein, because it's got lots of parts where you have to go to levels later on in the game, collect some moves in those later levels, then come back to the first level and second level to complete parts of it, kind of thing. There's lots of to-in and throw-in and lots of weird moments like that. There's interlinked things such as having to help a train run and things like that to be able to go to different levels and do different objectives and things. But yeah, overall it's a great experience to be able to play that again. I think trying to get new players who've never experienced it again is going to be a little bit tough, I think, unless you play the original Banjo-Kazooie. But that's what sort of my aim and the stuff I've been doing recently is to try and help new players come into the game as such. Mike, anything else you want to say about Banjo-Tooie?
I mean, there's obviously, I've been constantly thinking about, the many ways that why they've named it Banjo-Tooie, and just as you said, with to-in and throw-in, I think that's probably came more from that rather than as a direct sequel. So like Banjo, to-in and throw-in. And I thought, well, no, Banjo-Tooie seems like a good idea, yeah. Because there is a lot of going backwards and forwards between the worlds and the levels and things. I'm enjoying it, and I've found it quite easy to play it with a Pro Controller as well, because now there are a number of games, Nintendo 64 games, like GoldenEye or Perfect Dark. Unless you have the Nintendo 64 controller to play it with, they are almost unplayable.
Yes.
Unless you do a lot of fiddling around with the controls. Whereas with Banjo-Tooie, because it's mainly the camera stuff which is on the right stick, rather than having to actually use the C buttons to access weapons or stuff like that. I have found it a lot easier to use, although I still use the N64 controller when I can, because obviously the name is Miketendo64, so
yeah, you've got to use it.
There you go.
It's in the brand.
It is, isn't it?
You paid for it, and it's a tax write-off, so might as well use it.
I might as well, yeah. I mean, nobody else is. Unfortunately, right, for Pokemon, the trading card game, you can register a name, and they wouldn't let me use Miketendo64 because I think somebody else used it. It's like, it's only just come out. So I've had to go by a different name in it. So I'm Game and Chat and 64, yeah.
Blame your brother for that one. I guarantee he nicked it off you.
No, he didn't. He got Tendo 92, but maybe nobody wanted that. They just wanted Miketendo 64. No, we can steal that.
I'll sell it back to you for 50 quid.
There you go.
Oh, let's meet in the middle somewhere. 35.
That's not quite in the middle. It's just a little over the middle. It's fine.
I was going to say 25, and then you'd say 40, and I just thought, cut out.
Oh, you just go straight to it. All right, yeah. If I owned it, I'd do it for 35.
Yeah, all right. No.
All right.
Speaking of which, right?
Negotiations ongoing, guys.
No. So, like, talking about Pokemon, and there is this event going on, Lapras, but trying to get the Lapras card has not always been easy. For example, my brother Jack has still not got the card. And I, for a long time, couldn't get the card either. And a couple of people, now I'm doing a course at the moment to study to be an electrician, and there's about 4 or 5 other people in my class that have also got into, like, Pokemon Pocket. And one of them got like 2 or 3 of Lapras, and I gave him my phone. I said, "Look, I got a promo card here. If you can pull a Lapras, I'll give you 20 quid." He only went and pulled it, didn't he?
Oh my god!
So is that 20 quid or 30 euros?
20 euros. I'm just saying 20
there
quid.
You go. All
right, cool.
There's a lot of UK listeners. I didn't want to have to try and do all the conversion rates for you.
Math, exactly.
Yeah.
Fair.
About £17.86.
So
enough.
So basically enough money for a Switch Online normal membership for the year.
There you go.
Pretty much. I mean, he did give me the money back. He felt bad about it, but
What a nice gentleman.
He is.
I wouldn't have done.
Right, we've got...
Exactly.
So
My
we've got more games to cover quickly. So unfortunately, wait for it. Gawny, I want to hear more about Mario Party Jamboree.
Mario Party Jamboree, yes. I've actually been playing a bit of that today. Actually, it's Mario Party. What more can I say on it? Really is. If you like the previous games, you'll like this one. There's the thing with this one. There's a lot more of a tactical sort of thing you can do with each of the different characters. So
cool.
you choose your characters as normal, and you go onto the boards and you roll the dice and hit so many places, whatever. Yeah. But halfway through the game, they might just chuck in a Jamboree character. It could be any one of the Mario characters from the game.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
But you can go and collect them to help you out as an assist as such.
Oh, it's very similar to how it was in Super Mario Party, I think, wasn't it?
Sort of like that, but they've changed it up quite a bit. There's only one character that sort of appears on the board at any one selection point.
Yep.
Those characters are only on the board for 2 turns, so you've only got 2 turns to go collect them. Then when you do collect them, you have to do a mini game, and then basically the mini games from what I've seen so far are just some of the selections from older Mario Party games, but there's also some added ones, like for example, Waluigi has got his own like pinball section mini game that you've got to play.
Yes, that's right.
Which is very fun. You're playing 4 players to try and get the highest score and try and beat each other on a pinball system. Whoever wins that character. And when you've got that character, you can basically, whatever you do is doubled. So you get one thing for your character and one thing.
Cool.
So whatever thing you land on, so if you land on a blue space, normally you get 3 coins normally. You'd get 6 coins for that point. Same for red spaces and everything. Lucky spaces, you land on that, you get 2 spins on the luckies. And everything sort of happens is doubled. Even collecting stars, you get a chance of getting 2 every time you got those characters. And
landing on the Bowser space.
yes, that is one of the worst bits though. Even the negative things you get twice. So Bowser spaces, chance times, things like that. It all comes. Anything can come up twice, and it's like, oh no. So it's risk and reward with it, but it can change the game entirely in terms of how you get it. So I was playing a game earlier with my partner, and basically. I was Goomba, obviously, because of everything I do is like a pirate Goomba on my channel. So I'm amazed that there's a Goomba in the thing. I want hats, Nintendo. I want a pirate hat. I want it.
Yes!
So, was in Mario Party 3. Bring it back.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So where was I going? Oh, yeah. So we were playing a game earlier. We played like a 25 turn one, so it was quite extended, like a couple of hours we've been playing today. It got to one turn where I managed to get Mario as a character, and within the space of where it kept dropping stars, I managed to pick up 6 stars in one turn, kind of thing. So it was like game over after that point. So yeah, it's kind of heavy when you get the extra characters, but it can change the game completely. So depending where you land or what dice rolls you get, each character gives you extra abilities. So Mario gives you an extra 3 to 8 movement on his abilities. Waluigi steals items from other players whenever you walk past them. The other problem with this, though, you get that character, you move on. If you're in front of a player, and he's just like a couple turns behind you, they roll a dice, go past you, they steal that character. They steal the character, and they can double up and get everything doubled. So it changes the game completely because everyone's like, "Oh, where's this character? I need him to get there, to get to this point, to then do that." And it does change the dynamic of the whole game entirely, and it is really interesting the way they've done this. We played there's like a shopping mall sort of level today. We played that, and the way it's designed, there's like 3 floors of a board, and you can only get to certain areas from going up and down certain like lengths of the board. And there's one lift that goes from the top floor to the first floor, and that's pretty much it. And you'll be at the top, and all of a sudden, stars down here. Everyone's rushing down to get there as soon as possible, and the tactics of it all change all around. It's really interesting the way they've done it, and I'm really looking forward to playing more of it. I must admit, and definitely I've done a whole recording of it today, so hopefully I can get some stuff on the channel and explain it. But I will be putting that whole 6-star turn on the channel because oh my god, that was incredible. I don't know how that even happened. So
nice. And Mike, do you own this game?
I do, and you know I do.
I was just checking.
I'm trying to get you to get it.
Well, I think I'm sold now. Another one of those. I've been waiting for some decent feedback to hear about it, so I think I'm going to buy this. Game and chat. I think me, you, and Gawny have to do game and chat.
We do. The 3 of us, at least.
Yeah.
Try and get somebody else in to join us.
Well, the problem I've got is it's my partner's game, and I've been playing it around there, so I need to actually go buy it still myself. So now she's convinced me to go buy it.
Okay.
I mean, you could borrow it.
I'd like to
every intention of giving it back.
I was going to say after the 6 stars earlier, I'm surprised she's still with you.
She might be in the chat, to be quiet.
All right, Kylie, come on, your turn now. Come on, let's talk about what you've been playing.
Okay,
so look, she's been sitting on her hands too long. She hates it.
I know, it's true. I've had to be quiet.
You've done very well.
I have been. You know what? You're right. I have behaved so well.
You've done incredibly well. Now we're all shut up and let you have your moment.
Thank you so much. I have been playing Hitman, which should come as a surprise to no one. But before we do that, we'll say I have played the Resident Evil 7 and 8 demos. Why did I play the demos? Because I wanted to be sure that my chat wanted me to play that. I haven't seen the Resident Evil 7 demo in like forever.
Just remind me, Kylie, is that the VR one? Is that 7?
It's kind of it's that first person. Yeah, it's that one. It was very, very like well known at the time, and I had just kind of like shoved it aside and forgot that it existed. So I started it up, and I was like, oh my gosh! Like even years later, it is still they did so well. They knew what they were doing.
It is a genuinely creepy time.
Is that demo where you just sort of sat in a chair and there's things going on all around you, kind of? Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, they had 2 demos, didn't they? They had like the one, I think it was like the lost footage one, and then
that one. Yeah, because the VR one was more you were stuck in the chair and the lady attacked you.
That's it. I remember bits of that. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. The lost footage one, which is the one that I did. It has a lot more lore. It's lore heavy. As we know, anyone who watches my channel, I'm very lore. Like, I love lore. But Resident Evil is very difficult to follow their lore because they have alternate histories and alternate futures and all that kind of stuff. But it doesn't matter because Resident Evil 7 kind of just reset the entire Resident Evil universe. And this demo really reminded me of that. So we will be playing the entire Resident Evil 7 adventure on my channel, because holy crap, wow, Capcom, when they can do it right, they do it really right. But then after that, we played the Resident Evil 8 demo.
And I forgot I owned this until I checked out my shelf earlier.
Oh, holy crap. Now, of all the Resident Evils, it does go Resident Evil 7 for me, then Resident Evil 8, but specifically the DLC, the Rose DLC, which is, to me, is just so well done. Like, it's weird that a DLC, to me, is more, like, I don't know, it's just so well done. There's nothing more I can say about that. It's well done. But we did the demo on my channel just to see how chat liked it. They liked it, so we're going to end up playing it. It's just really well done. They really, like, recovered themselves with 7 and then 8. Because we had been playing all of the Resident Evils for the Halloween spooky times.
Yeah, I popped into your stream for the first one, I think.
Yes, I think so. I think that's correct. And it was great. You know, it was good to kind of mess around with the original Resident Evil. Kind of reminded me of how much I hate tank controls.
Tank controls, yeah. Everyone does. Yeah.
Hate them. They're the worst.
Did you play the original or the remake version?
I played the remake.
So it's a little less tank control-y, but not quite.
Less, but still tank controls. Absolutely, I just hate them so much. And it reminded me, as I had said on my chat, that I used to love Parasite Eve, which is the same people. And I had forgotten how much. Like, I loved Parasite Eve, but the tank controls... But from there, we went on... yeah, exactly. Yeah. Necro says tank controls suck. Yes, they do. Pylor says we were supposed to play RE, but you ended up with Hitman. Yeah, so... something that you will find on my wonderful channel that you should come check out at Kiley, KILEY_WILTE.
It's not like she could wait until the panel to promote her own channel, could she?
Of course not.
Christ.
Of course not.
Yep.
Where the chaos reigns supreme. But I absolutely adore Hitman. It's becoming very apparent I am a Hitman streamer. I'm trying to curb that, but I also love Hitman. So over on my stream, what we do is we do Mayhem Mondays, we do Weird Wednesdays, and we do Frightening Fridays. And I try very hard to stick to that. And then in between times, if I'm just feeling lonely and I need some, cheering up, I will do Hitman during Tuesdays and Thursdays and Saturdays and Sundays. Except for Sundays.
And basically every single day this week.
Every day this week, I have been very, very lonely. It's been a rough week. But I do tend to do Hitman. I love Hitman. I'm sorry, I just do. I can't really say much more than just I love it.
So which one are we talking about? Is this like the newest one released kind of thing, or?
Well, it's Hitman: The World of Assassination, as we say it. But obviously it starts with the it starts prequel, and then it goes from Hitman 1. Well, it goes Hitman 2, Hitman 3. It's the story.
It's the more recent IO ones that they released in an episodic format, originally.
So I'm old school. I played Hitman 2 and Blood Money.
Yes.
Hitman 2, Blood Money, Absolution.
I love it so much.
Yeah. Great game.
I love all of Hitman. In this Hitman World of Assassination. It actually is a love letter to those previous iterations. It's just a wonderful, wonderful. I just love it so much. So my poor chat has to suffer for me playing Hitman.
No, we enjoy it because we watch you play it in unconventional ways. Let's say.
I do. It's no. If you come to my stream expecting proper Hitman, no. I like to do things a little, unconventional.
I think that's the thing with those games in general, though, that you can do it however you want to, as such kind of thing.
Exactly. There's so much from poisoning to. My favorite is stabbing people in the face with a screwdriver.
Nice.
But that's just me.
Or throwing screwdrivers at people.
Or throwing throwing screwdrivers. If a screwdriver's involved, it works for me.
Oh, Twitch, don't turn us off. Don't turn us off.
Yeah, in Hitman.
Like,
Just in
on the
Hitman,
game.
not
In Hitman.
Hitman.
I'm always like, yes, FBI agent on the game.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. There you go. But yes, I think that's all. Pete, am I correct? It's just Hitman.
You didn't tell. Everyone else told me their list. You didn't. I had to find yours.
I'm so terrible. I mean, we did play Crow Country. I cannot say
Crow
that.
Crunchy.
Crow Crunchy. Crow Crunchy.
Crunchy.
Which,
That's a chocolate bar.
I would eat it. I would eat a Crow Country bar. But I do say that if you like old school, if you like tank controls, Crow Country, which no one does, Crow Country is a very good game. It captures the ambiance, and I know we're going to interview the devs later. It captures the ambiance. It's everything. It's good. I'm not good at tank controls. I'm really bad. But
Yeah,
I did play that. I did enjoy it as far as, like, I enjoyed it. I did. I just can't do tank controls.
So is it the same sort of game like Crow Country? I've not really seen much of it, if I'm honest. So
it's a good game.
No, that's okay.
It's quite fun. It's very reminiscent of old school Resident Evil with a mix of Silent Hill as well. But it's just it's very much of that era, like the Saturn and PS1 sort of survival horror games.
Okay.
Absolutely a PS1 style. Like, they nail it. They know exactly what they're going for, but it's just, I hate those controls. I do.
Those controls have never been good. And, I mean, like, the original Tomb Raider games as well. And unfortunately, use tank controls, because otherwise you can't make those jumps.
Yeah, they weren't great for a platforming, like, adventure game.
Oh my gosh, yes. Like, I absolutely love Tomb Raider. And I went back and tried to play the re-release, the remastered or whatever. I hate them. I still hate them. Like, I love Tomb Raider. I love Lara, as you English people say.
Why do you have to put that annoying twang on it? Just Lara. Just that's it. It's that easy. Not Lara.
Lara. But
the only reason why she's called Lara is because you couldn't pronounce Laura.
Exactly. But I grew up on that, and Lara Croft and Prapor the Rapper, and all of that.
Oh, nice.
I know, I love
Kick,
Prapor.
punch, it's all in the mind.
Nice.
Oh my goodness.
Exactly. Oh, I love it so much.
I want to play that.
I know, and that was back when I didn't know that memory cards were a thing, so I was playing Final Fantasy VII, and then I hit, like, the save point, and they're like, you don't have a memory card. And I was like, what the What? But I say all that to say that going back on the Tomb Raider redone things, wow, we really suffered a lot for our art back then, because remember crap, I wouldn't go back to tank controls.
I don't know.
Well, you do have to remember, cards. We didn't have analog sticks until the 64.
Yeah.
I know, and I'm just like,
even then,
wow, how?
I'm pretty sure I played the whole Tomb Raider without the analog.
Yeah.
I don't think there was the analog on that one, the original one.
I remember playing it on an original PS1 controller with just a D-pad.
Holy crap, yes. See, no.
It's my mum's favourite. My mum's favourite game series is Tomb Raider. She's finished pretty much every single one. Fair play to her.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Now Ginny plays Candy Crush, so, you know.
Well, Background says, I think most of my deaths in the original Silent Hill were due to tank controls. Yes, exactly. Silent Hill, I prefer Silent Hill over...
No, he's just bad. He's just bad. I watched him play it.
Look,
nice.
Look, we don't change skill levels here, but yeah, okay. I'll take your
For
word
a
for it.
moment, I forgot Ember was actually talking with us. She was here. She's been so quiet.
Oh gosh, no. You wait. We're gonna get off.
Oh, it's
this
gonna get
and we're gonna
crazy.
Give the
talk.
ladies some space to speak, everyone, please.
No, I've been enjoying listening to like your games and stuff. So you know.
And then I have to agree with that girl on this. My favorite is kill everyone so there's no witnesses. Yes, that's what Hitman's all
Yeah,
about.
you kept doing that the other day by kicking people into the sea.
I just was like they just kept coming,
I mean,
and I just.
The main idea is to get the silent assassin ranking, but obviously you do anything
I
but.
was gonna say, wait, Mike, have you met me? Yes, you have.
There's no such thing.
Silent.
No, she's going for the violent assassin.
I think we got flexible assassin last time.
I'm just glad there's not a chainsaw in the game, because otherwise Kylie will go for the chainsaw. wouldn't she?
Absolutely.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
This is I could have field day with the old Tomb Raider games. Like Anniversary is an interesting game, but God, the control exactly make me want to pull my hair out. Yes, exactly, Nana. We will if Asper has managed to fix the really bad ones. And then Necro says you can't be accused of doing illegal things if there's no one to report. Exactly, no witnesses. Only dreams. Only dreams now. No
Good
witnesses.
point. Good point.
There's no crime if there's no body.
Yeah, exactly.
Around.
Shoot out the cameras. Put your witnesses in the freezer. Nobody ever knows. I really love Hitman. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, dear.
In Hitman, just saying.
Wilde with the fascination.
God, this is gonna get put. This is getting us on an FBI watch list this episode.
Yes.
You mean we're not already?
I know.
Yeah, true.
Holy crap, Pete! We've
I hope
almost.
so. Like and subscribe.
There you go. There you go.
We might be
We've almost
demonetized by the end of the night.
No, that is true.
Agent Smith has just subscribed to your channel. Agent Rodriguez has just subscribed to your channel.
I love it. But Pete.
Assistant Director of the FBI has just.
Oh my gosh, I
subscribed to your
know.
channel.
I know. We have done almost an hour of
I know.
played.
We went long on what we've been playing. 2 weeks
we
worth to catch up on.
Played a lot.
To be fair,
Oh, it's
yeah,
almost like
Pete's
we're a
right.
video game podcast.
I know.
Right?
But Pete, let's get to the. Oh my gosh! Somebody called the FBI. Says Danker. Necro says Hitman is a fun as fuck game. Yes, it is. No, it's not about the FBI. You have to worry about. If you aren't in the United States, only the CIA. Oh my gosh.
Or
the ICA,
or GCHQ.
as they call it, or ICA
There's
as they
this
call it.
thing
Hitman.
called Interpol, and FBI talk a lot
That's
with
right.
Interpol. Yeah.
That's true. And
trouble.
then Danker, of course, says 216. Somebody call the FBI. Pete, I'm tossing this to you. Can we have spent an hour on what games we've been playing?
Yes, we actually have a purpose of why we've gathered all these great and interesting people
All these
with us.
amazing people that I may have to go to the restroom at some point because I've already consumed an entire ball of prosecco.
I would say go now whilst you have a chance.
No, I'm going to go ahead and stick it out. We'll see how long I last.
Please don't stick it out. That gets us on a watch list. Jesus.
Oh,
Wait,
dear.
you've got an empty bottle there, Kylie. You don't need to go anywhere. Just turn the camera off.
Christ.
Freeze frame. Freeze frame.
Exactly. But Pete!
Just turn your mic off because we don't need to hear the...
And the camera,
No,
please.
you don't
ping
ever.
pong,
Yeah, because my bathroom's like right across the hall. But Pete, why have you gathered all of us amazing content creators? Yes, I'm including myself in that.
I don't know.
Why
I just
have
wanted a
you-
nice chat with some nice people,
Yeah,
clearly.
apparently.
No,
When's
so
that start?
I thought 56, 58 minutes ago, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm going to keep drinking.
Of course.
This is for our lovely chat. This is my bottle. I'm sorry. I have to.
Oh.
But
Anyway,
I'll
yeah.
have a
So
drink, yeah.
the panel has been gathered today because we are covering content creation. I don't know if you've all gathered this, but we all make content of some degree. Every week, every month, whatever you do. Or every day, doesn't matter how you do it, but we all do some sort of
every
content
day
creation.
I'm normally shuffling, but...
Pokemon shuffling.
Oh, there you go.
Card shuffling, yeah.
Every day I'm shuffling.
Thanks, Kylie. You're in the room. You got the reference. Well done.
I'm so smart. I'm so good. Okay, I'm going to drink now.
Jesus. So, yeah,
I'm on bottle 2.
To some degree, we all actually do content creation, but Kylie is a lot more of a streamer than I am, so I thought I'd handle the panel this time around. Because
I know,
Kylie's new venture is streaming, and she does it more than this podcast.
I do.
Yes.
Come check me out on YouTube. I've got 50K views.
Wow.
Amazing.
Well done.
Wow, it's almost like she's taken one of my questions already. Thanks, Kylie. Jesus Christ. No, I'm kidding.
I'm going to keep drinking now.
So, yeah, put the glass in front of your face and stop talking, thank you. I want you to host this one, but I won't let you talk.
No.
Anyway,
no
so, yeah.
for me.
So I wanted to get everyone together and talk about the general art of content creation, how they got started, and sort of any sort of hints, tips, so anyone who might be aspiring to start a podcast, a YouTube channel, Twitch streaming, anything, or in Mike's case, a website. Mm-hmm. So, yes, which has diversified a hell of a lot, but we'll get to that at some point. So, let's start with your journey. How did you get to the point of where you are now? I'm actually going to start with Ember because she's been rather quiet for most of the streams so far. So, what was it that appealed to you in Twitch streaming and content creation in general, and how long have you been doing it for?
So I started during the pandemic, as a lot of people did.
Yes.
I was in lockdown. I mean, the pandemic was quite tough for all of us, really. Mm-hmm. I wasn't in the best place then.
Sure.
Yeah. It was difficult. I realised I didn't have any friends.
Yes.
And I was like, you know what? I love playing games. I love talking to people. So I was like streaming, just sort of, I thought, fuck it, give it a go. And with the pandemic, working from home, I had all the spare time. So that's what, I was like, I can stream now. I'll have the spare time, I can have a hobby. So yeah, that's how it started for me, and just sort of gone from there, really.
Awesome. Same question to Gawny.
Hi. So I had a history of running events as Nintendo podcast system. We did a podcast, and we also had a Nintendo events thing in Southampton, where I'm based. Basically, It was called Street Pass Southampton. It was all about the 3DS at the time, and DS before that, and connecting via the Street Pass connecting apps. Get a load of people together, connect all that stuff, play a few games together, and I sort of started from there and got into content creation from speaking to other people who streamed and create stuff on YouTube, even just people who just make artwork and like GIFs on the internet and things like that. But I think YouTube sort of started because from the Wii U, you could upload your Mario Kart videos originally when it first released.
You could also do with Smash Brothers replays as well.
Yes. Yeah. I never did it with Smash Bros. Actually, because I'm useless at Smash. Basically.
I did.
But there he is.
Look, Pete's flexing now.
Oh my gosh.
I dabbled here and there, all right.
So the first few videos I uploaded was from Mario Kart, basically. So I sort of experimented with that, and then I got into further making series on YouTube. I started with Undertale as a whole video series, and then it just sort of gone from there, doing like little shorts and other things now, and actually streaming fairly often. I'd say at least 5-6 times a month at the moment. So it's been pretty cool. I'm trying to sort of focus more on individual games like Banjo-Tooie recently, for example, but it's just quite difficult to get ahead of the curve, I think, and be on time with editing and things like that. But otherwise, yeah, that's the one I sort of started from there and going into events into doing streaming and stuff. So yeah.
Kylie, I'm going to throw this to you. I know it's been a recent venture, but you have attempted in previous incarnations. So when did you first get the itch to want to start being content creation?
Well, I mean, I started before we did rapid reviews, but rapid reviews really took off. And again, it was during the pandemic. Same thing.
Well, it started just before the pandemic, but most of it happened.
We did.
Yeah.
Yeah, we started just before the pandemic, and then it just really took off, and that really was good timing on our part in a way. So I kind of concentrated on that, but then as time went on, I started to find that I too I'm just a very lonely person. I say this very much on my my own personal channel. As a weirdo.
We're all weirdos here.
Exactly that. I don't. I felt very lonely, so I started to stream and stuff, and I was encouraged by people in my life at the time who were like, I think you'd be good at streaming, because they were good at streaming, and they were like, oh, I think you'd be good at streaming, so try it. So I did it, and it worked. It actually has been... it sounds dramatic, but I'm going to be very, very honest. It saved my life.
Okay.
Dramatic, but true. I have really, really, like, my chat, my everything it's just really carried me through. Nice. And yeah, exactly. Like, I can't complain. It's been exactly what I've needed in this particular time.
Exactly, like the community side and building it with and meeting new people and things like that. Or
exactly, it's a very strange thing. I'm very honest on my channel. I have what's called Asperger's. Asperger's. I love saying that. But that means that I struggle socially, which always surprises people. Because I can host, I can stand on stage, and I can, host things and all that kind of stuff. But when you get to the private life,
difficult. Yeah.
Exactly. I struggle with a lot of social issues and things like that. I'm on the spectrum, as most of us. I have found out that most of us streamers are,
Yep.
And which works for me. And so in streaming, I have found a kind of identity.
Yes.
Where I can kind of be myself, and I've hoped to, exactly, Taker. Taker says, woo, pick up the Asperger's out there. Exactly. Which I'm hoping in the new year, I'm just at the cusp of affiliate, and I'm hoping in the next year to create an environment where people feel like if they're an outsider, or if they don't belong, they belong here in my chat and my stream. Everyone's accepted. No one's an outcast. All those things that we've suffered as children, as adolescents, or whatever. Yeah. Forget it. You're welcome here. You can be your weird self, and you will be absolutely, just accepted completely.
That's lovely.
Yeah, that's my hope and my goal for the next year, and it's the reason why I started streaming, because I'm a very lonely person, and people always find that very strange. Because I'm very extroverted, and I'm very, I'm always hosting things, and I can go on stage, and I can act, and I can perform, all those kind of things. But when it comes down to it, I'm very lonely.
Is that like you feel like you're a different
when it
character
comes to intimacy and being more like personal,
yes,
on a personal level with people? Yeah,
exactly that. And because I know that about myself, I feel that for other people, and I hate that.
That's a good way that's a good way to find people the same things though, and sort of experience and share it as such kind of thing. So it's good to talk up about it.
Of course.
Exactly. I'm very open and very honest on my streams about the struggles that I have. Loneliness is probably the biggest struggle that I face. This year has been particularly difficult. And I just want to create this environment, this world where everyone that stops by can feel accepted and catered to, and you're not weird. You're not an outsider. You're very much welcome, and you could be your strange self.
Yeah.
And it's accepted, and I just that's what I want to give back.
Yeah.
You know, so that's why I started
Awesome.
all of my stuff. Yeah,
Thank you.
Exactly.
Mike, you come from a very unique experience, let's say, more so than most of the panel.
So, yeah, because...
how did Miketendo start? When and why has it evolved into doing what you do now?
What we do now? Okay, well, I mean, how far back? Well, no, I'm pretty sure I said that before on a different podcast.
Yeah, fill those in who might not know much about you, let's say.
Exactly.
Actually, I think it was with an episode I did on our podcast, and it was with Gawny. And he said about, so, when did you, start out? And it's like, well, how far do you want to go back to my conception, the day of my birth, and stuff like that? So,
we don't need to go that far back. Just content creation, please.
Yeah. So,
when a mummy and a daddy, no, we don't need to know about that.
When a man loves a woman. No, we don't need. We don't need to know about the
karaoke podcast.
Yeah. In there, yeah. I do like. I can't sing to save my life.
That's what karaoke is.
We know.
Oh, karaoke. Oh, yes. Yes.
So 2015 is when we started out, and basically, I just got the Wii U. I got into the Wii U late, so basically into the last couple of years of its existence, really. And I was working at a waiter at the time, and I was earning, my own money. I was independent, so I wanted to get into a new console, get back into gaming, because there was a time where I was out of gaming. And obviously, it's the great way to start, isn't it, with a Wii U? Because nobody's got that. You know what I mean?
Oh,
yeah, only 13 million people.
Yeah, it had its Zeldas, it had its Super Mario, so, like, it could play 3D World and all that kind of stuff. So I got back into it. And mainly it was because of Zelda Wii U, as it was called. And I wanted to learn more about Zelda Wii U. And I thought, well, what if I started up a blog? And it was a blog. Trying to gather up all the information that I could find about, the next upcoming Zelda game for the Wii U, which then obviously it released on the Wii U and the Nintendo Switch as Breath of the Wild. And I thought, if I could gather up the information and stick it on a website, and then it's like, okay, but I've got to do more than just this particular game. So why don't I just talk about, the games in general on the Wii U and Nintendo, and talking about Amiibo, because that was a craze that was absolutely mad around the world at that point as well.
Yes, it was.
It was.
In a way.
It is. Only they're a bit. They're a bit here and there now, aren't they? It wasn't like these great big waves. Like here's like 8 different Amiibo for you to collect, and then you got to try and collect them all, and it was madness. Now it's only like 2 or 3, and it's still madness trying to get hold of them. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So we got into content creating, doing a blog basically, and then it grew, and then it grew, and then it grew, and then I got other people who are interested in similar sorts of things to me as well. So I said, well, how about collaborating, because I wanted my website to grow. And a good way to, help it grow is by collaborating with other people doing a similar sort of thing. So, my audience can go and see their content, their audience can come and see my content, and just, build up from there. And it came to a point where I was collaborating with probably around about 25 different people at the time.
Wow.
So there was a lot of people to, have like volunteers, and it's like, well, and then getting into reviewing games as well. So I started off reviewing games that I had already owned, and then trying to get into like Nintendo's graces and video game companies of like, well, how do I even get in touch with them?
Yeah.
Because I'm a very, very small website. Nobody's ever heard of me, and on top of it, I'm in a completely different country.
Yeah.
Because I live in Spain. So I tried getting in touch with the Nintendo office here in Spain. It's like, well, normally we would, but because your content is predominantly in English, you're probably better off trying with Nintendo UK. They could send me the press releases and stuff like that, but as for codes and things, they wanted to keep it, with more national websites of the home language.
Right.
Understandable. So I finally got in touch with Nintendo UK. Now they were using a different press firm at the time. It's called Pretty Green, or It's Pretty Green.
Yeah.
And one of the people there, who was the head, Raya, I believe she was, her name was, and she was a very, very lovely person. She helped give us an opportunity, and she actually said, now the Switch had just come out by then, and it's like, I'd really, really like to request a code for Super Mario Odyssey. And it's like, well, unfortunately, I can't give you a code for Super Mario Odyssey. However, if you want, I can send you the game. And it's the first time, Nintendo actually sent a physical game. And I've actually got the letter somewhere as well, saying,
awesome.
we hope you
That's
really, really
amazing.
enjoy this game. Special thanks, the Pretty Green team. So, big shout out to them.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah. And then they were with Nintendo for a while, and then Nintendo started doing their own thing with their own in-house press team. And unfortunately, it's very, very difficult to get into their list. They've got several lists. We know this. Anybody who's a content creator for Nintendo know that they have several lists. So they have it for your general content creators who will get a code on day one.
That
for
would
the
be
launch of the
Rapid
game.
Reviews, yourself, and a few other smaller sites.
And a few others.
Yeah.
Then there'll be other websites that'll be lucky if they get a game on day one.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you got your huge sites which get a game like 2 weeks before and have been playing it and get it ready for the release day, when the embargo lifts, which is normally like 2 days before the actual game comes out.
Mm-hmm.
And there have been a couple of times they have sent us games early. So, like, I believe Yoshi's Crafted World was one, and Captain Toad Treasure Tracker was another one.
Nice.
Wow.
Nice.
And then every other game has been, well, on launch, and it is what it is. You know what I mean? And then, like, trying to write reviews for these games, and it has been a bit of a struggle, I will admit, trying to write reviews for games that are already out because, let's face it, if it's already out, people have either bought the game or they've already read the review elsewhere.
Yes.
Big boys already, yeah.
Yeah. And this is something that I have noticed heavily on like the website, where views have, dropped off exponentially. My first year, I got about 9,000 views on the website, just under 9,000 views. The second year, it went up to about 250,000.
Wow.
It shot right up. For the second year, it went right up. And then there was points where we got around about 750,000 views in a year, and it was mental. And then it has dropped off. Now I'm lucky if I get like 200 views a day. It's wild, and mainly because of the algorithm. Every time Google changes the algorithm, all the small content creators get shafted.
Yep, always.
No,
100%.
no lubricant, no Vaseline, proper shaft. Okay? If you have to edit that, Pete,
No, there's no swear words. It's fine.
Okay, I never mentioned anything about insertion or
Well, you just did. You just did.
But not in the same.
Can you not do that, please? Jesus. God.
Just call this episode Raw Dogging It, Pete.
Oh, dear.
I mean, how many times can we get away with that?
Every time.
Good God.
Because Kiley said it.
That's exactly right. Exactly.
Yeah, but people are then going to think it's just sitting on a plane for 8 hours doing absolutely nothing.
I do that too.
But anyway, trying to wrap it up a little bit. So I did also do like videos, like gameplay videos
Yep.
Yeah.
Normally of like the first level or mission or part of a game. And then I did like Super Mario Maker as well, was very, very big at the time. So I did a lot of like
Yes.
playing other people's levels and making episodes of that and doing like skits at the beginning and the end and trying to make it as entertaining as possible. It didn't really take off that much. It had, a little bit of a following. And then that's where YouTube started to come into it. So I started putting a bit more videos there and then just generally playing video games, not really any like commentary and stuff. It's only been like now as I've tried to shift the way that I do video game content, basically, because let's face it, Kiley knows this more than anyone when it comes to journalism, let alone video game journalism. Journalism has gone absolutely down the pan.
Blame Twitter for
down
that.
the pan. It's all about clickbait articles, being first. It doesn't matter if information is true, as long as it's out there. That's the thing.
It's with anyone. It's now the fastest and fastest, regardless of whether or not you're accurate.
Accuracy, accuracy
first
is no
first,
longer...
second is last. Yeah, you're not even
exactly.
on the... Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's where I've started moving into more like visual and audio content. So like with the podcast that I've started up, so Game and Chat, which you've been on, Kiley's been on, Gawny's been on, and Ember, if you'd like to come on, I'd be very, very happy to have you join me at some
That would
point.
be awesome. Thank you.
It's so fun. It really is fun.
Hey.
Yes.
Basically, we play video games whilst talking about what it is that you do. So,
Which is
Surprisingly hard to do.
Which is more
Exactly.
difficult than you think.
Yes, it really is.
yeah,
That Splatoon episode
is,
was tough.
it it was. But we did get some wins, and at the end of the day, our team did win
Yes.
There you go.
in the
did.
whole.
It was
obviously.
great.
So,
We did.
yeah, team present. Yeah.
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 We did our part. We did our part.
We did.
So then, like, moving into like Game and Chat, doing the podcast, and actually, our YouTube has been doing a hell of a lot better. It's
Nice.
over. I mean, we've only got about 4,500 followers. We've just broken. So obviously,
That's
it's still very, very
really nice,
small.
Good.
though. I have
It is,
71.
You're getting there. It is difficult, Kiley. It is very, very difficult. It's
It's
either
so
you explode overnight,
Yeah.
or it's a very, very slow and gradual grind. And Gawny knows this, and
Oh,
you know this
we-
yourself. I know this.
We know
Yes.
this.
It
My
is-
goodness.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. And then, like, you'll be lucky if most of your videos get over 200 views. And then you'll have one particular video, which was just a load of cutscenes of a game.
Yeah.
And then that gets... I've got one, actually, which has got about 800,000 views.
What?
Oh my god.
Yeah. But
I don't-
And that is for Shantae, the half-genie hero.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or the seven sirens, actually. Seven sirens. Yeah.
I have a scroll with the gun video that just took off, and I'm like, it's just me going, oh my gosh, it's so cute! And people went nuts over it.
Yep.
Nuts.
Sometimes that's all it
Which-
takes. That's all it takes.
That
I
actually
mean,
leads me
Gawny,
to
you've got a pretty good video as well, haven't you? Is it a Pokemon Go one that you've got that's...
There you go.
Yeah, I had a Pokemon Go video that went pretty well because it was a Mr. Mime at the time. It was like the first year of Pokemon Go. Mr. Mime
goodness.
was only exclusive for the UK and Europe, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So I just did a video where I just deleted it and didn't think much of it, just got rid of him because he was rubbish. And then basically all of the American Pokemon Go players come onto the channel and said, "Why you deleted it? He's rare. We can't get hold of him." And all of a sudden, views just shot up like
Nice.
crazy. And it's like 230,000, 300,000 at the moment.
my
So,
God.
yeah. So you get the right target audience and it goes up. But it's difficult. It's hard trying to find that video that I do. I don't know if it's like for yourself, any of you guys, but the videos I do the least effort on seem to get the most views.
100%.
100%! Oh my gosh, I cannot understand that. I go to upload something that I think is hilarious personally. I'm like, I'm so
Like
good.
Kylie called it out
I'm
of
so
her seat.
funny. Yeah.
Yeah, you'll get
there you go.
undone by a falling out of your chair
mean-
video that gets numbers, which is strange.
To be fair, that did actually get numbers. But, no, I'll be like, oh my gosh, this is so funny. I'm laughing myself. I uploaded it. It gets like 54 views. And then I upload this thing where I'm like, I didn't put any thought into it. I just needed some content. I just farmed some content. I'm just throwing it up there.
Yeah.
Boom! Not only on YouTube, but on TikTok, it like hits like thousands. And I'm like,
goodness sakes, Kylie.
Yeah.
Edit.
I just cussed.
No. Mark the time.
There's a little goose honk
We
there.
got one F word. We're allowed one, I believe. So everyone
Yes.
now has to be on their best behaviour.
Kylie is not
I
on
did
her
it.
best behaviour.
But it is crazy to me how like you think like you go to aggregate you go to post these things and you're like, oh
Yeah.
this is gonna be the one, this is hilarious, this is gonna be it. Post it and nothing happens.
One like.
Yeah,
Frustrating.
it's like
frustrating.
what?
Actually does lead me to an interesting question, which I think a lot of people can sort of know if they deal with content creation. How hard is it not to watch your analytics and be discouraged by it?
Oof.
Oh.
So who wants to take this one first?
Oh.
I mean, I've already kindly touched upon it.
Yeah,
but
you
yeah,
kind of
go on,
have, yeah.
Kylie, go on. Yeah.
I actually like my. No, I'm kidding. I mean, I have just like I've only been doing this for 3 months. Let's be honest. I have to be honest here. I've only been doing this 3 months. It's weird because on like let's say YouTube, I may not hit a really great, my target that's in my brain type of thing. But over on TikTok, I not only hit it, I surpass it. It's a very strange thing because those are two different audiences. I've started to learn that.
Top tip time. I'm going to ask this because I ask this every single person on Blue Sky
Yeah.
and Twitter and everything. Are your channel links in your description on your main
Yes.
page on Twitter? Because the amount of people I see who are moaning they don't have any viewership
Yes.
and don't have their links on the
Yeah.
main channel, I'm like,
So
100%
add
that.
it. Add it.
we
So
actually,
people can find you.
funnily enough, we don't have it on Blue Sky because
Nah.
I've neglected it a little bit. But on Twitter
Yeah.
and X, it's there. It's straight up there.
Yeah. But
Create a link tree and
Yep, we did.
Yes.
the links all on
Yes.
there. Plonk that on your profiles,
Yeah.
on your socials, and just get people to click from there. And it does
yeah,
work.
exactly. And I've even done like Instagram. I get like nothing. Like if we were looking at percentages, we'd be like Instagram would be like 1%, 2%.
Yeah.
But they go from Instagram. They go over to YouTube. YouTube's my biggest audience share type thing. Yeah. I'm still just kind of blown away how I can post something to YouTube and, well, we also have to be very, very honest. I said this on my show the other day. YouTube is owned by, obviously, Google. So they have an algorithm kind of like, they scan your videos.
Yeah.
And so if you cuss, if you have a little too much revealing flesh, which some of us do, I can't help it.
Yeah,
That happens.
I've shown
Yeah,
too much neck. Sorry.
yeah, exactly. They'll take, yeah, exactly. It happens. They take you out of rotation, and but it's so very strange to go on TikTok and watch that same video just
Yeah.
do freaking numbers. It's
You
like
nearly did.
what? I did. I almost said it. I caught
It's
myself.
interesting.
You've already had one, Kylie. You can't do another
I'm
one.
being very good. I'm being
Everybody
very
gets one.
Everybody gets one.
Thanks,
Everyone
bud.
gets
Right.
one.
That's right.
No, it's
Right.
literally only one. That's it.
Yeah, exactly.
For
And that's
all
the
of us,
thing.
it's the one, and Kylie had it.
Well, it's funny because if you ever do go to my channel, if you look at my shorts, you'll see like four.
I can't see your thoughts, Kylie. You're sitting down.
Very good, very good. But you'll see like 4,000 views, 500 views, blah 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 blah, and then you'll see like 21 views. That's the one where I've either said a cuss word or my boobs are showing or whatever, and they've yanked me out of the freaking rotation.
Oh, yeah.
And that's like, yes, exactly. It's like, "Arr!" You know.
Trying to move on to like the analytical side, sort of bit. Like, what would you say is a good target for a new creator kind of thing? What would you say? What would you target for your first video as such?
Oh, I'm just gonna say no. Talking about like if we're talking about YouTube Shorts, because that's
okay. YouTube Shorts, TikTok, or anything like that.
That's my target audience.
Yeah.
A first time video, 500, I think would be very, very, very good.
Pretty reasonable.
Yeah, I think that would be very reasonable. That means you've done everything right. You've met YouTube's insane
standard
achievement. Yeah, standards. There you go, type of things. But that's only really what I'm familiar with. I cannot figure out Twitch.
I've never figured out Twitch.
I can't figure out Twitch, even though I do Twitch every three times a week.
I struggle with it, must admit.
Yeah, I do. I struggle with Twitch. TikTok, I have. One day I'll post a video, it'll get 200 views. The next day I'll post a video, it'll get 1,000 views. I have no idea. I'm just like, okay.
Yeah.
Whatever.
TikTok's really bizarre.
It's very bizarre, and that's the thing. Like I will notice that YouTube, maybe I'll get 500 views on a short. I'll paste that same short to TikTok. TikTok will be like 1,000. It's like
why do you think that is? Is it like a different target audience that's hitting that kind of thing?
Well, I honestly, in my honest opinion, YouTube is trying to be so. Like, they don't like cussing, they don't like boobs, they don't like anything.
Yeah.
TikTok is a little bit more open, a little bit more free. So I think that audience is a little bit more, like, willing to listen to cuss words. Because I, unfortunately, I do cuss quite a lot in my shorts. And I think that YouTube is a much more receptive, not YouTube, sorry. TikTok is a much more receptive audience.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
Of course, yeah. So, do you think that certain platforms like YouTube, and we're all, let's say, relatively smallish creators compared to some, do you say that they definitely favour the bigger creators over us? And what is it that we have to do to help stand out in that massive pool?
Right. I mean, obviously, now, YouTube, I mean, every time I go on YouTube and I'm looking at videos, it's always going to be something generally related to something that I've already seen before. So it does cater to what it is that you are looking for.
It's also the same on TikTok, to be fair.
Yeah. So, like, obviously, I follow you, I follow Rapid Reviews, and I follow Gawny over at YouTube. So as I'm scrolling through, I'm going to see your content come up.
Yes.
So your content will show up for me. And if I'm going through shorts, for example, there have been times where, you're scrolling through YouTube and you've got like the 3 or 4 different shorts. And like one of them would be mine, one of them would be like Gawny's, and one of them will be yours.
Yes.
It's like,
Did you watch mine?
So, it does. Of course I watch yours. Of course I watch yours.
Thank you.
I watch yours before they even go onto the Discord, mate.
Oh,
There you
thanks,
go.
mate.
I get an icon that comes up the top and says, Gawny's just posted. It's like, yes. And sometimes I even comment as well.
Ring that notification bell, guys, remember?
There you go.
Yeah. So, like, personally, I mean, like, if you're following certain followers, then it's great for that, and you're going to constantly get reminded of, like, when they share stuff.
Yes.
The hard part is new content creators, or finding new content creators, or being presented to people that may be interested in your content, because it's not always relative content that they show you.
Right.
So it will basically be, okay, so I, for example, I've got into watching videos of a Shiba Inu. Okay, so it's called Kiley the Doge, and basically it's an overreactive dog, and every time the owner goes to stroke it or whatever, the poor dog is absolutely traumatized, starts screaming.
Oh, goodness.
That kind of thing. And because I watched it once, It's
Yeah.
always in my thing, and it'll
Yeah.
always be a new
Oh, yes.
video. So it's like, oh, okay,
Yes.
then, well, I'll see this and I'll see that. And because it makes my partner laugh as well, and say, oh, there's a new video, and it's like, oh no,
goodness.
that means it's going to constantly appear in my timeline.
Yeah.
But trying to find new content creators or, new stuff on YouTube, unless you're personally searching for them, and even still, it can be very difficult. Like, for example, if you were to type in Rapid Reviews UK
Yes.
into YouTube, now it's yours.
I don't
Yours
know.
will appear. If I do Miketendo64, for me, it's going to appear. It'll be like right at the top. But if, like, for example, Ember has never seen me before, she's never seen any of my content before, if she typed in Miketendo64, I probably won't even appear on there unless she typed in
Shall we
the
test
full...
it?
We shall test it right now, because
Test it.
I actually did this earlier, because I typed in Miketendo64, and the first thing that came up was your channel, but also the first suggested thing was face reveal.
Oh,
And that's not me.
I know,
Oh.
which is very unusual.
Yeah.
There's another
That's
one.
interesting.
There's an imposter.
There is.
There is an
there you go.
imposter.
Yeah, especially on
I
TCG.
did have...
He's sus.
Well, as you were speaking about doing content and getting into content creation during the pandemic, I did a number of videos on another channel, and it was with puppets. So just doing like silly little things with like Mario puppets and Luigi. So they'll be like having a conversation and stuff like that. And I called the channel "It's a Me Mario."
Of course
Okay.
you did.
Now, if you used to type in "It's a Me Mario," it's somebody else that appears, and it's a very, very weird video. And if you thought mine were weird, but generally charming, this is just a really, really weird video of a guy who just does weird things. And it's like, and it's like, okay, right, fine, fair enough. I won't go too much into it. But then, like, I mean, the videos that I did would be like Princess Peach and Bowser having a general conversation over, on the table, or like when Doug Bowser was announced to be president for Nintendo. Well, then I did a video with like Bowser sitting in front of a table going, ha ha ha, I'm finally, king of Nintendo, and then like another character will come up and say, no, it's a different Bowser, you was not elected, that kind of thing.
Oh my gosh.
So, I did dabble in silly content then, but like if, trying to find a particular, content creator, unless you've already found their content before, it can be very difficult, trying to find new content that you may be interested in.
Because let me just say this. I'm sorry, but I have to say this. So apparently, there is an adult actress by the name of Kiley Wilde.
Of course there is.
So that's made things very interesting over on TikTok and Twitter, X, whatever. Yeah, so I'm getting a lot of her kind of fans or whatever.
Okay.
So hopefully
Probably not
they're...
the same kind of fans you want.
It's not.
They're only fans.
Yes, they're definitely only fans. That is for sure. We do
The
spell our
difference
names
is that her fans would normally pay for her content, but they get to see yours for free.
Exactly.
Win-win.
It's just your imagination. It's free.
Niche selling point. There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
But I just discovered that last week, and because over on both X and TikTok, you can kind of see your kind of your analytics in a way.
Yeah.
Like I don't do deep dives into analytics because you can get kind of caught up in it and all that kind of stuff.
Sure.
But I noticed that I kept being tagged in things over on X, Twitter, and I was like, that's like, is Kiley Wilde a man? And all that kind of, I was like, what?
What?
So I started doing this kind of, deep dive. Yeah. And I kept getting tagged in things, and TikTok then followed up, and I was like, okay. But then as I did the deep dive, and another friend was also checking out for me, they contacted me and they were like, so Kiley, I don't think this is about you. Type in, and then they told me like it's an alternate spelling of my name, type in that, and I was like, oh
Oh.
Wow! Okay! Wow! So, hey, I'm for whatever people want to do with their free time. That's okay, but I'm not her.
I think you figured out where all those views came from on TikTok.
Yeah, exactly! I was getting, like, crazy views. Like, crazy, insane views.
Oh, absolutely amazing. I got 5,000 views on a video, but they only watched the first 5 seconds and then realised I'm not who they were looking for. Yeah.
Exactly that, Mike. I was just like, oh! And then I was like,
90% of viewers drop off after the first 5 seconds. Yeah, no, I know that feeling. Yeah.
So there is that. You have to. I mean, I will say this. I try not to rely too heavily on this, and maybe Ember can kind of relate. It is different for female
100%.
content.
I actually was going to ask this at one point. Is how very different is it as a female streamer compared to a male streamer or content creator?
I have gotten some replies that I didn't understand. I had to ask my wonderful, beautiful chat, some of which are in tonight.
I would highly recommend having moderators if you're a female. 100%.
Oh, definitely. I didn't understand, and I still don't quite understand, and they've tried to explain it to me. But a lot of my YouTube replies are like, women. It just says women and then like period.
Honestly, YouTube comments are like a different level. Like everyone's so rude.
Yes, exactly. And I'm like, I have Asperger's. I don't understand what that means. So I asked my wonderful, beautiful chat. I'm like, what does that mean? And they're trying to explain it to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, if it says women, period, it's derogatory. And I'm like,
yeah.
Why? Like, why? Type of thing. It is. I'm gonna say that I feel like it is a little bit. There's a little bit of a different element of being a female content creator.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
You're constantly fighting stereotypes.
Exactly that. Yeah. Exactly. And I'm just like.
We're just here to vibe. We just want to vibe,
Exactly. Like, I'm just chilling. Like, I love Hitman. I play Hitman all the time. I got a reply to something I did. I don't remember. I don't really remember. Oh, because I was like, oh, yeah, look at more of my guns. And I was like, oh, yeah, sun's out, guns out. I'm so, like, my arms are guns and blah, blah. And then the reply was like, women. And I was like,
right.
What does that mean? Like, what is that? Like, explain it
That
to me.
means someone's bothered to put a message on there who's going to engage further, and other people might see that comment and actually see your content. So I'll be like,
well, there you go. That is 100% it. I was like, yeah. Well,
the funny thing is they probably spent more time trying to write that one word than they did actually watching your video, because it's like and then it's like the first word that came to their head. Woman.
Yeah, that's actually all it is. They're just a deer in the headlights going, oh my god, woman.
No! Exactly that.
YouTube does have a block button.
I know that Gawny, Pete, and myself, then we say we're gamers, and then people go, yeah, okay, they're gamers. They get that typical mentality and whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, you get a female. No. I mean, everyone is a gamer. It doesn't matter whether you're male, female, non-binary, or whatever. You're a gamer. I mean, all this logic of gamer girl and gamer gal and stuff like that.
Yeah,
gamer is neutral. There's no particular gender to it. My sister's a gamer. My mum's a gamer.
Liars.
There you go.
Why does it have to be important?
Yeah, it's like there's a higher threshold for women to meet, isn't there? It's like, just
100%.
prove that you know this series, or
Oh
you know,
gosh, yes.
let's.
Yes.
Like, I'm going to use this as an
It's the
example. This is
same-
not me calling you out, Ember. It's like,
No,
they see you
this
wearing a
is-
Nirvana t-shirt. It's like, right, name 3 songs from their albums. It's not Smells Like Teen Spirit. You know, that sort of crap.
Exactly.
To be fair,
Exactly.
I would struggle
Right.
naming 3 songs from Nirvana.
Yeah.
Name,
But then I'm
name
not a
3
big Nirvana
games
fan.
from
I
Nintendo
would.
64, Mike. You know.
Yeah, come on, Mike.
Louis, GoldenEye, The Legend of Zelda.
Name all the games.
All the
Fine.
games.
All the games.
Five-
So you're not,
five-
not a real gamer.
Name 5 games that were not made by Rare on the 64.
Ember is
Oh my
calling me
God.
out.
Big fan.
I'm going to rip up my gamer card now.
I ripped mine up years ago. I don't consider myself one.
Oh, there you go.
I'm not an usual gamer.
And haha to Pylord saying a hot tub stream. Yes, that will.
No.
There are obviously.
The guys, and then like you get in the comments, and then generally in the
That's
comments
the
for like
thing.
guys, it's like, oh, so how do you play this game? Or okay, you're not very good at this game.
That's
It's
so
that kind of thing.
stupid.
But then
I-
like for gay
That's the
ladies
thing.
or of the fairer sex, and it's almost like non-gamer related at all. It's like
Oh,
really.
yeah,
Yeah.
You should take that.
Well,
I think you should
Yeah.
take comments. You should take comments like that and just sort of turn it round on people, basically, and say, "Well, yes, I am female, thank you," and stuff like that. You know,
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
Thank you for noticing.
turn a negative into a positive as much as you
My
can.
partner
Yeah,
thinks I'm
yeah.
pretty
Oh.
too, thank you, and then
Yeah.
watch them just disappear.
Yeah, cheers for that. I hadn't noticed that in the mirror every morning, thank you.
yeah. But I do have to say, if you want to tell me I'm pretty, I'm okay with that. I'm very lonely. You can tell me I'm pretty. But I also
There's a way of going about it, though. You know, like one of my, like I have
Yes.
regulars, and sometimes if I've made an effort on stream and someone says, "Oh, you look very nice tonight," then it's like, "Yes, we love that, we love that." But when the first time chatter comes in, going, "Hey, babe," it's like,
Oh,
That's
oh my god, so hot.
"Ugh."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Funny enough,
Or-
you saying that. I was watching a video on YouTube the other day, and this guy, I believe he's an engineer, but he's a comedian now.
Yeah.
Oh.
Can't tell you his name for the life of it. He's about 60 years old, and he's saying about fonts. Because he's an engineer, he's very, very, specific about certain things. And it's like, I will love you forever, or whatever. And it's very, very important that it's got to be written in a particular font. And then it's like, if you put it in like a really, really creepy font, then all of a sudden it changes the whole content.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. I love you
No
forever.
writing Comic Sans.
Great. I love you forever. Yeah, that kind of thing, basically.
It
Yeah.
is,
Or like use
there's-
creepy fonts. But
There's nothing wrong with telling. We'll specifically talk about streamers because that is what most of us are. There's nothing wrong with telling a streamer that she or he is attractive. That you
Do it in the right
find
way.
them. Yeah, exactly. There is a right way.
There
to
is
do
a
it.
line between being complimentary and sexualizing someone,
Of course,
and
yeah,
that's what it's
100%.
about.
Exactly that.
Like
we
this.
have.
Gawny, you look very nice today.
There you go.
And then, Gawny, you look incredibly today.
See?
There you go. There's the difference.
There's a little
Only for you,
difference.
Pete.
Yeah.
different things, but we will still take that as a compliment because not even our partners say that to us. So
There you go. See?
And don't worry, I've made a notation of my of my swear there.
There you go. But
Oh,
like,
you did one.
like if I'm playing Halo or Hitman or something like that, and I do a really good headshot, you can compliment me on my headshot. But
Right.
you can compliment me like on the way I look if it's not predatory, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Like I do dress up for my chat. I enjoy doing that. But I don't want that to be the only thing. Like
Right.
also exactly. Also, I am playing a game for you. So admire my gaming skills as well as my boobs, if that makes sense. Yeah. It's
I
like,
have a whole personality. I have a whole personality.
Yes, exactly. And then I will continue to look amazing if you can also acknowledge that I'm a very cool person in addition to, I'm not just an object, if that makes sense.
Sure.
We're all humans in the day.
I've had a few comments in the past where it's been like, oh, I followed you because boobs, but you're actually quite funny. And I'm like, I never know how to feel about that.
Yes, exactly!
Who's being spelled B-E-W-B?
Ember, I must apologise about that comment. That was a very different time for me.
He's married now.
That's very good. That's very good. But
that's all it takes is a man getting married, and all of a sudden he really says, "Oh, I can't make those comments anymore."
That doesn't stop some of them. Let me tell you that. but no, that is exactly it. Like, I know. Okay, like I'll be very, very honest, right quick. So last week I didn't know that there was an adult movie actress with the same name as me, and so I was a little bit more revealing on my YouTube videos because there were some weird hashtags, and I was like, I want to prove that I'm not like, okay, the hashtag was Kiley is a man Wilde.
Brilliant.
So I was like, I want to prove that I'm not a man. I'm very much a female. Then I, of course, found out that was an adult actress that they were hashtagging. But I did do that, and I did bring in a few. Like, I've gotten a couple of followers because I was a little bit more, the zipper was a little bit too low, type of thing. But what I'm hoping is that, I know that brings people in. Let's not lie. It does. But I'm hoping people will stay because I can do some freaking epic headshots. And,
and
you look good whilst doing it.
And if we're obviously using it, if we're using it in the context of the podcast, it's like hopefully they stay for the interesting discussion and the good banter.
There you go, exactly. Like I'm happy to draw people in for that. Like I'm okay with that. I'm okay
drawing
with
people in
that.
for 5 years. It's worked so far.
Well, there you go. I mean, sometimes it's worked.
Yeah.
But I mean, you have to be able to back that up.
Mm-hmm.
Which I do think that Ember and myself, if I may say so myself, Ember and myself, we do have the skills that pay the bills. Yeah. But
I'm surprised you didn't say assets.
Oh, I should have!
God damn it, Mike.
Perfect. Yeah.
Seeing that you like being an assassin in the world of assassination.
I do love being an assassin. But I do think that, like, a lot of people do complain. I say people, I mean men. Complain that, women have, like, such an easy audience. They can just blah, blah, blah.
No.
That's not entirely true. Like, yeah, okay, we can draw people in, but we have to be able to keep that.
Keep hold of them,
Exactly. So we have to be able to play the games. We have to be able to show our skills.
Mm-hmm.
I think show your personality in a little bit as well, though. It's actually who you are. It's quite difficult opening up sometimes with that sort of side.
Oh, yes.
I think that's true for regardless of who the streamer is or who the content creator is. You have to show it. You have to be personal.
Absolutely.
You have to be real. Otherwise people are going to see your content from a mile off as being quite fake.
You got to be.
I just saw Pylord's comment.
Oh my God, Pylord.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Pylord's one of my most vocal.
This is why he can get away with it.
Yes, he can. He can.
Yeah. So I think this discussion as a whole has gone on very long as today. I know Mike is obviously in a different country, so I want to start wrapping this up at some point. But I do, as the next point of discussion, I do want to talk about the growing side of alternate media. And how much can we utilise alternate media? I know some of them are a little bit, let's say, for want of a better word. but how much of it is going to be a lot more useful? Kylie's obviously touched upon TikTok a little bit with her shorts, but how much can things like Rumble, Blue Sky as a Twitter alternative, how much can they help when it comes to content creation? So, Gawny, I'm actually going to start with you as someone who's on Blue Sky a lot at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, I've fairly recently moved from using Twitter to moving to Blue Sky, which is a very similar app if you've never used it. I think for me, Twitter's got a little bit too political, is maybe the best way I can describe it.
100%, yeah.
Yes.
I'm not really interested.
Yeah.
I'm not really interested in most politics as it is, kind of thing, and it's just you're bombarded with it daily, like everywhere, kind of thing. Especially American politics at the moment because of the election and stuff. But I moved
and because they're best mates.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, politics. No, this is a no political zone. Let's move on.
We try.
Blue Sky.
Yeah, so I moved to Blue Sky recently, and lots of people have told me about it because mainly creators and artists and things are using it as a way to sort of restart or reset themselves, kind of thing, is the best way I can describe it. So I moved over there, and I just started putting a few of my videos on there, and I think I've started to sort of curate it a little bit more and who I'm following a little bit differently to what I was doing on Twitter. So I'm sort of following creators, with smaller creators who are just sort of promoting their own stuff and doing their own Twitch streams here and there, which are for like less than 100 people and things like that kind of thing. I'm trying to sort of target it that sort of area and try and help people build themselves kind of thing on there. Personally, it's sort of working. There's a few extra new people have come on board, and I've jumped on a couple of videos here and there, and they sort of put a comment in and say, "Oh, I'm from Blue Sky, and thanks for sharing your stuff and stuff like that." But it's really what you do with it is how you share it and who you share it to is the main sort of thing with that. You've got to find your right audience and the right target of who wants to see your content. I think. Like, for example, with Banjo-Tooie recently, I've been trying to really hammer into the Nintendo Online market kind of thing to say, look, there's lots of games on there that people play daily on that console and things, but these are all for free if you've got the expansion pass or the normal pass. You get loads of extra games with it anyway. But whenever there's a new release, there's always eyeballs on it kind of thing, and say, look, Banjo-Tooie is one of my favourite games, and that sort of made me want to do more content on it and get more people involved in it, and using things like Blue Sky to sort of promote it, to say this is a new game and some of you guys have probably never played it before, and here's how you get to this certain level, and here's how you get to this certain area, and here's how you do this. And I've done little shorts on little things in the games, like the waiting animations and things like that for other characters, because there's some things that people might not necessarily see without seeing a little clip of it somewhere on another social or another alternative media, like you're saying, Pete. But it's a difficult one because it's getting that, they're still getting eyes on the prize as such, is the way I always sort of describe it, because if you don't get the right eyes on it, they won't watch it. So if it's being shared to the wrong people, like Twitter does constantly, I think, as an example, it just doesn't seem to work anymore, kind of thing on there for me personally. And that's why I went to Blue Sky as a reset and restart and try and recharge the channel a little bit, and it has worked. I think you got to know your audience, like you're saying with TikTok earlier, and maybe Instagram for some of you guys, maybe using that as an example for if you're taking a photo of something and then say, oh, we also do a podcast on the end of it, kind of thing. It might bring someone else on extra from somewhere else to another area. It's so difficult trying to do the whole circle of constantly promoting to one thing to another. The only thing I would sort of suggest as a tip to people, don't always post exactly the same content on every single social media. Like, do something different on every single one.
Give people a reason to follow you everywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
If you do the same thing on every single channel, if you've got one person who's following you every single one of them, they're going to get bored of you because you're doing exactly the same thing every single time. So try and do variety of things you're sharing, and you'll find different audiences from doing it as well. And different areas. Don't always target the one section. Like, just, I'm a Nintendo gamer mainly, but I also play Xbox games. I also play PC games quite heavily, and I'm trying to move that onto that on Twitch, for example, and slowly not doing very well on there. But I'm trying to find another market for another section to sort of draw other people back in as such, and it does work. But it's just it's difficult. It's difficult to try and build it up again. How have you guys found Blue Sky, just in general? I don't know. A few guys have moved over.
I don't get the appeal personally at the moment. That's just my experience. You know, I've heard a lot of people hyping it up, saying it's really good. I have got an account, but every time I've gone on, it's just felt really lackluster.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm not seeing anyone's new content or anything. Like, I'm just seeing the same stuff over and over again, and it just feels like people are essentially just using it to. From what I've seen, people are just using it like as a way of flogging the stuff.
Sure, I think,
and it all feels very spammy, you know, like the content I've personally seen on there.
I think the problem is because it's not an open platform like Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it these days. It's more closed off at the moment. I think once there's a public app or, you know, an easier way to access it, that might change. But at the moment, it's still within that closed sort of period.
Yeah.
I mean, I've started up probably about a good few months ago, and then when everybody was like jumping on the Blue Sky, and then you had to get a link basically to be able to join it. So fortunately, somebody sent us a link to it to join. So jumped into it, set up an account, and then I haven't really actually done much with it since.
Same.
So I post a little bit of content here and there, but because when I went to MCM Comic Con the other week, and obviously Gawny was there as well, and we saw each other from
for about 5
on either side of the room, like hello, and then we never saw each other for the rest of the day since. It was quite funny, really. And then because there was somebody else at the event who was going, and I did post on Blue Sky to say that we was there, anybody else that was going, and then, you know, a couple of people actually engaged with us there, whereas if I posted the exact same thing on Twitter, I think I'd get about a like, and it's probably because Gawny liked it, and that would be about it.
It's funny
because I'd probably like say, I'm seeing Gawny there. Anybody else going? Because he's been mentioned. It's like, well, all right then. I'll say, yeah, I liked it. I got a pity like from Gawny, basically.
Well, there you go. Oh my goodness.
Good man. He's a good man. But then, like, I logged into Blue Sky, and then it's like, oh, you've got 10 new followers. And it's like, I've not posted anything. Why was anybody following us? So obviously I thought, okay, well, they gave me a chance. I'm going to follow them back because that's the kind of thing that I do like to do. If somebody follows you, you at least follow them back.
Of course, a similar thing happened yesterday when I logged in and seen a few people had followed and a comment from Gawny. I'm like, oh, cool, yeah, of course I'm going to go and follow Gawny and like his post and say thanks. You know? So it just happens like that. So from the streamer side of things, Kiley and Ember, you can obviously talk about this a little bit more. Have you dabbled in Rumble yet?
The only experience I have on Rumble is this one guy. He doesn't even follow me on Twitter, but he keeps telling me to go to Rumble. I don't know who he is, but he just keeps spamming me. Go to Rumble, it's so much better. That's my only experience with it.
No. I have avoided Rumble and Kick for sure.
Oh, there's a reason why I didn't mention Kick.
I know. Like, I mean, I got an invitation from TikTok to stream over there. But I haven't 100% accepted it.
I have tried streaming on TikTok.
Yes.
And they keep banning me.
See?
What?
That's right.
Because apparently my content is too sexually suggestive.
And I have watched Ember's content many times, and I am a subscriber to her Twitch feed.
For the sexually suggestive content.
It's not sexually suggestive. See?
That's why I subscribe. No, I'm joking.
I've got no chance.
You
beat me to it. I was 2 million R-ing whether I say anything. I thought, no, I'm going to leave.
Mike, you should know me by now. I will just say it.
No.
No.
Ember's content is so straightforward. It's very, I enjoy it.
Honestly, it is. Yeah, agreed. It is straightforward. You get the game, you get her personality. That's it. You know.
Exactly, that's it. It's not like me and my desperate appeal for please like me, please love me. But I'm joking, of course.
Am I pretty? Tell me I'm pretty.
Tell me I'm pretty. Tell me you like me. Give me
Do you think I'm pretty? I think I'm pretty.
That's your million-view episode, I think, there, Mike. 100%.
Yep.
Exactly. But no, Ember's content is so on point. It's not overly sexualized at all. It is pure content, and I enjoy it very much, which is why I subscribe to it.
Yeah, the few times I've come into your streams, they've just been it's very play the game and just have fun. It's always been a good time, and your chat is great. So
exactly. But at the same time, I do know that as a person who is trying to also stream to YouTube and TikTok, I keep getting the same TikTok, like, warning, I guess, or whatever. I don't know what they want from us. But,
to not be sexual, obviously.
Duh. Yeah. I guess I just need to wear, like, I don't know, what is that thing called? A Snuggie or whatever, where you're, like, completely covered.
Yeah, but you'd probably still be flagged for suggestive content, though.
Me? Yes, absolutely, 100%. But...
Necron says wear a poncho.
Too sexy for this stream. Okay?
Yes, that's it. I'm too sexy for the stream. But I don't, like, they really do have some weird kind of, like, I don't know. They're, they
very
I don't
odd.
know. Odd, yeah, exactly. Because they keep sending me, like, these requests. They keep going, like, oh, we want to see your content. Please come stream over to TikTok. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they banned me, and then the next day they were like, oh, we want you back, go live again, and it's like...
I get those too! I get those constantly. They're like, oh, we would love to have you over on TikTok. Okay, well, we changed our mind. Exactly!
We want you on TikTok, but not like this.
Not like this. Not like this. It's like, okay, TikTok, I don't know what you want.
It's just too frustrating. And then you see other streams and it's like, hang on a minute.
Yeah.
Exactly, because there are, like, look, I'm not ever going to shame any females for what they do. I'm
Get your money.
Exactly! You do what you gotta do!
You gotta pay the bills somehow.
Right.
Exactly! But when it comes to, like, you know, like, I'm playing games. I'm just playing games. I'm playing Hitman. Let's be honest. I'm playing Hitman. And then they're like, well, but you're playing Hitman and your zipper's a little too low. But we're gonna let this chick, who's not playing anything, we're gonna let her on, you know, because, you know, more people watch her. I'm just like, okay, come on. I want to kill people. I want to stab them in the face with a screwdriver.
You are absolutely right.
In the game.
In Hitman. In Hitman. Let's.
And this is why you get banned off TikTok.
There you go.
Exactly.
Like you said, Kylie, like, you'll be playing a game. You're playing a game, and okay, your zipper's slightly low or whatever. Maybe somebody finds that a little bit revealing, and you get banned. And then you get somebody else who's in a full bikini, the most tightest of bikinis,
in a hot tub,
and that is fine.
Yeah,
that is absolutely
what I don't understand. Like, I will never shame a chick if a chick can make money by being in a hot tub.
I wouldn't shame you for doing it either.
I am like, I'm going to support her.
If I could make money in a hot tub, I would.
Exactly! Yeah!
It would probably cost me money to do that.
Let me rephrase that. I would support anyone who can make money in a hot tub. I don't care who you are. I'm going to absolutely support you.
That way.
Exactly! So I'm on board with that. Like, I've never ever shamed Amaranth. I am like, hey,
you're for it, girl.
If they're gonna pay you, you go for it. You do that. But at the same time, don't pull
the ladder up for other people, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Seriously, like, I'm actually gaming. Yes, sometimes I'm gonna be very honest on here. When I didn't know that there was an adult actress with the same name as me. So when the hashtag came up, Kiley is a man Wilde, I did kind of freak out, and I did lower the zipper a bit. I'll be very, very honest about that.
And it hasn't come up since.
The real.
I'll be very honest about that. But I actually lowered the zipper and also played Hitman. So I'm just saying.
You're just leaning into it, Yeah,
exactly. Maybe just kind of, But at the same time, I do say I don't begrudge Amaranth or people like Amaranth. If there are people out there, if there are people out there who are willing to pay for someone like that, hey, you get your money, girl. Go out for it. I'm not gonna do that. That's not my personal style. But I'm not gonna begrudge you.
Right.
Either.
Sure.
Exactly.
So we're going to wind this up. I've got one question that needs to be asked from the chat. This is from Nana. This is specifically mostly aimed at probably both Mike and Kiley here because they're the ones who have done this.
I love these questions.
So, do you have any advice for anyone trying to move their written content to video form?
I'll let Mike go first, and then I'll talk way too much.
Okay then. I mean, sometimes you've got to change things up. The world is constantly moving. Everything is constantly changing.
Yes.
I mean, back in the 1920s when written media was, absolutely everywhere, and that stuff like that. Yeah. And then like television came along, didn't it? Or, we had radio, then we had television, and then we had color TV, and then the internet happened, and then we got YouTube. So you do have to move with the times, and of course. Yes. Yeah. Hello. That was my partner. Just popped up then.
Oh, hello. Let me guess. Bedtime, Mike. What are you doing?
Well, it is 11 o'clock.
I know. That's why I'm trying to wrap this up. Yeah.
No worries. So you do have to keep up with the times. I mean, I've noticed with writing content and that. I mean, there was a time where it was very, very good for us. Very, very good. And we would be getting like 60,000, 70,000 views a month. And that was brilliant at the time. And now, obviously, it is dropping off. And you do have to try and think, well, do I keep at this? Do I want to still keep creating content? Or is it time for me to, hang up my shoes and say, look, I didn't make it. Maybe it's time for me to do something else. Or you just diversify and you try other avenues. You try different things. Yeah. So, I mean, then, coming on to your, podcast and that, and talking with you guys, and it's helped me think of like other ideas as well. When I know you said it jokingly, saying, "Oh, I hope he doesn't go off and make his own podcast." We're going to start losing, views. And no, I mean that's never been my plan. That's never been my intention. It's just finding another niche that I can hold up.
I mean, the fact that you post on a Monday, it's a bit suspicious.
I like the whole gaming chat.
Yeah, I know.
Love it. I think it's wonderful.
I mean, there was a reason why I had you guys on first, basically.
There you go.
Okay, all right. I'll let you off. We can share a Monday.
And obviously, yeah, we can share a Monday. I mean, there is the rest of the week for people to listen to and watch our content anyway. You know what I mean? I mean, as long as they go to yours first and then they watch mine, that's fine. I've got no problem with that.
We would say differently. Go to yours first, then come to us for a palate cleanse.
There you go.
Nice.
Yeah, no, you're probably right with that one. Where's the water? I need a gallon.
Was it written go into videos or videos go into written form? Or was it either?
It said moving their written content to video.
Yeah, written I mean, it all depends on the kind of content that you want to do. Now, obviously, I've moved into, with the gaming chat, and then I've diversified gaming chat. So, I do the main podcast thing where I bring people on to play their video games. I've recently got on game developers as well to actually talk about their games. And funnily enough, some of these games are not even coming to Switch. But because we saw them at Comic-Con and, we wanted to promote games, because where we started, our very, very humble beginning from like starting up our websites and then getting into, reviewing games, it was the indie developers that gave us our shot. It was them that gave a chance to us. So, huge shout out to the likes of like Thunder Lotus Games and Image and Form at the time, which have now become Thunderfall. And and like Yacht Club as well. They gave us a chance. They gave us, these games, and it's like, from there we were able to, then get in touch with like Nintendo and, like Konami and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, now being able, I mean, obviously I'm not in like the best position or whatever. I want hundreds and thousands of followers and subscribers and views and stuff like that. But I am in the position where if I can help out an indie developer, give them a platform to, share their games and then, like get in touch with you guys as well. So then maybe they'll come up onto your show to, help promote their game. Mm-hmm. Or if I can get them in touch with publishers who may, actually be interested in that kind of game, because obviously, I have got some connections. I mean, I'm not working in publishing firms myself or, working in the video game industry, but if I can help somebody the same way that I was given, the chance and the opportunity in the beginning, well then, I'd like to try and pay it forward where I can.
Of course.
And like with video content, I mean, if it's something that you can do, I mean, I don't stream. I mean, I could stream if I want, but my computer is basically a potato at this point. Although a potato can actually run Doom. I don't even think my computer can. Yeah.
That's true.
So I'm going to cry a little bit now. I do need to invest in a better computer. But, I use... I said about the capture card, so I meant, like, this is what I use.
Yeah.
And, I can record straight to an micro SD card, and then I just plug it into my computer and then just upload it, and there's away you go. And I can, it's got microphone port as well, so I can, be doing commentating in the, which you can, hear and listen to, like when I'm doing the podcast and stuff. And you just got to do what you can. You've got to, diversify. You have to change things up. You've got to not be afraid of changing things up as well.
100%.
So if it's something you want to go for, Nana, and, for everybody else, give it a shot. Why not? What have you got to lose? What have you got to lose? Exactly.
Yeah.
It's making that first step.
Yeah, and it was similar to us. Obviously, we started out originally as an audio format podcast, no video. We didn't even put our videos on to even look at each other. It was just, let's just talk to each other each week, and then, 70 odd episodes in, we were like, right, let's try out Twitch and see how that goes. And then views were going well. So we were like, right, this is now a video format podcast. We'll put it on YouTube. We'll put it on, we'll stream it on Twitch every week. We'll do all of that. So Mike's right. You just got to diversify in any way that you can. You've just got to make sure that you are constantly evolving and adapting with the times, and you got to go with your viewership as well. So just going to go on.
Sorry, go on.
No.
I was just saying it's a confidence thing as well. If you're not like confident of speaking on a microphone or whatever, it's a skill to learn. When just write everything down you want and just try and speak to a mic and try and talk to a camera. It's a skill you got to sort of learn to sort of promote yourself, kind of thing. It's difficult as such if you've never done it before, but once you get the right knack of it and done it a few times, I think you do sort of learn a bit every time you do a new upload, kind of thing, with stuff like that. And I think going from a paper base to a video base is a lot easier, I think, than going the other way, definitely. So just keep trying and find your audience. Like I said, that's what I'm constantly saying throughout the whole thing here is as long as you find the people you're trying to target, you'll be fine. That's the thing.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, and
we've both had a sex change.
Mike, can't say that anymore.
Oh no, I'm gonna get cancelled. sorry. Oh no, we're gonna get cancelled.
You've just made it worse. Thanks, mate.
He keeps digging.
He does, yeah. Remember, this is not your podcast. I will get cancelled.
Sorry.
No, I'm kidding.
Fine, it's Kylie getting cancelled.
No, Kylie will never be cancelled. So it's fine. So
Well, then I'm fine because I'm Kiley now. It's Mike who's going to get the trouble.
my God. Right, let's close this utter mess out, shall we? So,
mind you, I do want to piggyback on what Gawny was saying as well. Like,
sure.
you know, when doing video content and stuff like that. And I know a lot of people say, "Oh, you're brave for, you know, putting your face out there and, you know, being, you know, seen to the world and stuff like that." And you know, bravery, yeah, you do have to be brave, but the thing is you're not born brave. Sometimes it's because you're absolutely terrified of doing something new and you do it anyway. You know, you just got to go for it. So, you know, it doesn't matter if you're absolutely scared about trying something new or trying something different and, you know, you never know if it's going to work or not. Just do it anyway because, you know, I mean the expression fake it till you make it, you know,
it
does help as well. Yeah. And, you know, you just muster through. You'll find the courage eventually.
Yep, it's an expression I hear quite frequently from various people in my life. Fortune favours the brave.
Definitely.
Oh, what, like Matt Damon?
Yeah.
The fortune favours the bold.
It may be, in this occasion, it favours the brave.
Yes, okay.
Yes.
Fine, whatever.
Yes. Kiley walked in halfway through a conversation and wants to try and correct me. Thank you, Kiley. I really appreciate that.
Funny enough, on the topic of bold, I believe there was an expression before, and it goes, there's old soldiers and there's bold soldiers, but there's no old, bold soldiers.
There you go. I like that.
Right, so closing thoughts from everybody. I'm gonna go around the room. I'm gonna start with Kiley because she'll probably go on for about 25 minutes. So, Mike, this is a quick way of you going. Right, I'm out. So, is there any final advice that you would give to anyone who's thinking of aspiring to do content creation, whether it be a podcast, Twitch stream, YouTube video, content creator of any kind?
Drink lots of wine, but outside of that...
How about to those who are under 18?
Oh, gosh. Oh, maybe don't do...
Drink lots of Alco Pops. No, don't do that.
Don't do that.
Look, we all did that when we were 14. Look where we are now.
I mean,
right?
I think we'll win it.
Right?
Winning.
Winning! Exactly. No, but what I want to say to anyone who's aspiring to be a content creator, just... it's so cliched. Be yourself. It's silly. It's cliched. But it's the truth. There is an audience out there. There's 8 billion people on this planet. You may feel very strange. You may feel very odd. You may feel like an outsider or an outcast. There's 8 billion people on this planet.
Feel the same way.
Exactly. One of those 8 billion people are going to feel the same way. You'll be shocked. I know I was. Once I kind of accepted that I was weird and I was strange. And then I found out, especially through YouTube and Twitch, mostly those two, I'm not that weird. I'm not that strange. There are other people like me. So if you're going to do content creation, as cliched as it sounds, be yourself. There's an audience out there. There's an audience out there for you, for your content, for what you want to say, what you want to put out into the world. There is an audience for you. We're all just kind of trying to find our way out there in the world. Yeah, and it's great when you find other people who are just having the same struggles, the same, just everything. So what I tell myself and what I'm going to say to you guys out there is 8 billion people. One of those 8 billion people are going to exactly think like you, and it's going to be amazing when you find it. Yep. So keep going. Keep doing it. That's what I have to say.
All right, Ember?
My advice would just be, if you're thinking about going into content creation or anything, is just to go for it. Like, don't be worried about making mistakes, because no one cares. No one cares if you make mistakes. No one's going to judge you for not getting it right. Like, no one's even going to notice aside from you. Like, if you make a mistake in your own creation, your own content, no one else knows. Like, you know, so just go for it. Like, own it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like, you can make mistakes. You know, it's okay not to get it right.
Of course.
Yes.
Gawny?
I would say don't spend millions of pounds on it straight away. Is the best way I can sort of say with it. Like, if you're going to go into content creation, make sure you try it first, but with a limited budget, and don't just
£30 webcam.
Yeah.
Yes.
A basic webcam, a computer that can run stuff, and just a button you can press record on. That's all you need if you want to start creating content. But you can just talk to yourself kind of if you need to.
Yeah.
But
Oh, hell yes! I'm sorry, I gotta interrupt.
Of course.
That is one thing that you need to know, that if you're going to do in content creation, a lot of us are people who talk to ourselves, you know, even off
difficult.
camera. Yeah, exactly. You're gonna go in there. You start that camera. You just talk to yourself like you normally do. That's 100% it.
Yeah.
Like, just talk to yourself. Just
You got a waffle on.
Exactly.
learn to love your voice, because
Every
you're gonna
day I'm
hear it.
waffling.
You're gonna hear
Don't think anything. Say it.
Yes, exactly. They're both right. 100%. Sorry, I interrupted, but that's right. Yes.
I was gonna say, learn to love your voice, because you're gonna hear it for hours on editing and stuff. So just get used to it. You know.
Yes.
If you're not happy with it, just re-record it.
Look,
Try
honestly,
There you go.
216 episodes down, and I still hate the sound of my own voice.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yes.
It's one of those. So I don't think you'll ever get over it, kind of thing. I've listened to myself hundreds of hours of stuff I've recorded over the years, and then there's still sometimes I'm like, I've got to redo that one again. Because it's just not good enough, you know. But you know, you don't spend a massive amount on it. Go give it a try with a basic microphone, basic camera, and talk to the camera first, and see if you can get into it from that side. Then look at basic capture cards if you need to. You've got £100 budget, you can probably get a decent capture card for any console gaming.
Yep.
For PC streaming, lots of the stuff you can do with inbuilt software. So I use Streamlabs OBS and OBS.
Yes.
It's a free software. So there's lots of free options out there to try things first before fully going into heavy things. Don't start spending money until you're making money. Is probably the best way to describe it, kind of thing. But you know, but you've got learn to love your voice and carry on from there.
Okay.
That's the best way I can describe it.
Mike?
Basically just reinforcing what everybody else has said. I mean, you're going to be making mistakes. I mean, you're going to make a lot of videos in the beginning, and then like later on, you're going to look back at your earlier videos and you're going to think,
Oh my god.
Yeah.
How did I record that
These
potato?
are learning points. These are learning points, and they help you grow, and they help you build, and they help you improve.
Yeah.
So, like all that nervousness that you had in the beginning, or like that over, you know,
Yeah.
welcome to my YouTube channel, and this is what we're going to do. And then you gradually just like work your way out of it, and it's like, hey, everybody, welcome. And I mean, at the beginning, it's like, you know, hello world. And then in the end, it's like, you know, hey, friends, how's it going? Because, you know, you are just in with, you know, members of your community now.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with energy. There's nothing wrong with energy. Show it off and everything, but like I said, be real. What we were saying earlier, be a real person that you are.
Yeah.
Don't be a pretend
Don't
person.
fake it. It's so obvious, you know.
Yeah.
It really, like, honestly, I want to be very, very, very honest here. People can tell when you're not being authentic. They can.
100%.
And that's one thing I know about all of the people on this panel, and why I respect all of the people on this panel. They're very authentic. Authenticity. I've only had 2.
You did it. They come out.
You got it right, though. You got it right.
So sorry. But no, authenticity is exactly like people are drawn to that.
Yep.
Be yourself. I mean, it's such a simple cliche, but it's actually the honest truth. Just be your freaking self. People will love you. I know, even if you feel like, oh, but I'm not, I'm not this, I'm not charismatic, I'm not attractive, I'm not this, I'm not that.
That doesn't matter.
No. It doesn't matter. Exactly that. It doesn't matter.
Everyone watches different things.
Yes. Yeah. There is an audience for you. I'm sitting here telling you. There's an audience for you. There's an audience.
You don't have to be a carbon copy of Mr. Beast. I mean, that would be great.
Nobody should be Mr. Beast at the moment.
Not even Mr. Beast. But we already have a Mr. Beast. We already have a Laser Beam. We already have Sideburn. We already have, all these YouTubers.
We have Ninja.
So we have your own thing.
Exactly that. Be your freaking self. I know that's very hard for especially younger people. No, I'm not kidding you. There is an audience for yourself.
Yeah.
There are people who will relate to you, who will understand your trials and tribulations. I'm very honest. On my channel, I'm very, very honest about my struggle with Asperger's. I also love saying Asperger's. My chat loves that. But the point is, there are people out there who understand your struggles. They're going through the same thing. Is it going to be 100 million people? No. But do you want 100 million people? No, you don't. You want that 5K, 5,000 people that do relate to you.
Yep.
That's who you talk to. That's who your audience is.
Yeah.
And that is 100%. Exactly how I feel.
So...
Don't do it for the subs. Don't do it for the views. Do it for the engagement.
Yes.
So I'm going to piggyback off the rest of the panel and say everything that you've all said is absolutely perfect. Like, it's exactly what you should be doing it for. But there's also one final thing that I think most people have missed.
Well, if I can just say one more thing.
Wait, go on.
Okay, because I like what Ember said.
Go on then.
Yeah, I agree. Go on, Mike.
But this is the most important thing when it comes to creating content, is that don't go into this thinking that you are going to make it as your number one dream job and you're going to do this full time, because it's only the 1% that are actually going to make it to be full time, and even still, anybody who's in the second tier down, they have also got full-time jobs.
Yeah.
So if you make it, that's absolutely fantastic. But don't think, I hear a lot of kids that know, oh, what do you want to be when you grow up? Back in our days, I want to be a biologist, or I want to be an astronaut, I want to be a fireman. And this day and age, I want to be a streamer. Video game. I want to be a streamer.
Me and you
I want to be an influencer. Yeah. I want to be a content creator. And, we are all content creators. We all create content, whether you're an artist or whether you create content in all the different ways. The only difference, with us, is that we actually put it on YouTube, and there's people that don't even take that step. Take the step, do it.
Yeah.
There are cooking channels on YouTube. There are how-to tutorials on YouTube for all kinds of things. If you have an idea that nobody else has done, go for it.
Yep.
Whether you make it big or not, try to keep your expectations somewhat limited, but put in the effort.
Yeah.
If you want it to work, you can make it work, but you got to put in the effort. It's not just going to be given to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So actually,
now you can continue.
There's an audience for everything.
There is, but actually, what I was going to say to close that out is be passionate about what you're doing. If you're not passionate about what you're doing at all, so if it's video games, if it's music, anything like that, give it your all. The minute you find out that you're not passionate about something, your audience is going to find that out too.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. And that's probably what you should take from this. I hope that someone will take from this, is that there is an audience for everything. Even if you think that what you care about is weird.
Video games are weird to some people.
Video games are so weird. I've found that out recently. I've been into video games obviously since I was born, much like these people. But I have, as I've gotten older, I've found out that video games are quite strange to people.
Right.
Yeah, it's very weird. So just pursue your passions. If your passions are comic books, it's another thing that I'm totally into. If your passion is like miniatures, painted miniatures, or anything, there is an audience for that. There's 8 billion people. There's 8 billion people in this world. That's what I tell myself. There's an audience for what you enjoy, for what you love. You will find your community. You will find your audience.
Or if there isn't, make one.
Now that is the thing. Now that is actually very, very true. And what I've been doing this year, if there is an audience, make one. Because I promise, out of 8 billion people in this world, somebody out there is going to relate to you.
Yep.
Don't shy away from that.
Yeah.
Pursue it. Just let your passion come out. Do the thing that you love. If it is painting miniatures, if it is collecting comic books, if it is talking about movies and their artistic influence on you, that type of thing. If it is video games or whatever, there's an audience for you. I promise there is. Don't feel pushed aside or left out. Pursue it. It's there. It's there. Your audience is there. And I just
do it.
Yes,
just do it.
Just do it. Like Nike says, if your enjoyment is wine, pursue that too. I'm here to support you.
I don't have a problem with drinking. I love to drink. It's everyone else that has the problem.
Exactly. I'm for Mike. Yes,
right.
Exactly. But anyway, Pete,
I am calling a close to this because it's now 2.5 hours of discussion. So
has it? It's been wonderful.
It's been amazing, yeah. But I now need to go. Mike, you need to go to sleep.
All right. Well, so, we do need to.
I'm getting to that. So I'm gonna start with Mike so he can dip, obviously, after he's done his bit if he needs to. So Mike, please plug your stuff.
I've been Mike. My website is Miketendo64. Obviously, we cover a lot of Nintendo games on Nintendo platforms. We also have a YouTube channel which we've been more invested in recently as well. So we've been doing a lot of podcasts for gaming chats. So basically invite members of the gaming community and industry to come over, play some of their favorite multiplayer games or plug games that they've developed and to talk about them. And that's starting to pick up a little bit. So we get an episode out every week. That's the general plan. Recently had an episode with Gawny actually last week where we played Banjo-Tooie. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. And the multiplayer. And that was
which was really fun.
Very, very fun. So we've got to do that again sometime as well. And hopefully we'll get a multiplayer session for Super Mario Party Jamboree as well. And Pete,
I'll let you know when I've got it.
Once you pick up a copy of the game, let me know. And Gawny, obviously, if you can borrow it from your partner again, that would be much appreciated. So
I'll let her know.
she can play as well.
There you go.
Yeah, I'll get involved. She'll be happy for it.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. I'll try and go easy. I do get a little bit competitive.
No, it's fine. It's Mario Party. Everyone gets competitive.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
that's a given.
Wonderful.
So yeah, we're also on Twitter, Blue Sky, Facebook. We don't actually use that much anyway, and Twitter. Let's face it, it's been circling that drain for a long, long time now.
Yeah.
So, it's what it is. But if you want to catch us over on our website or on YouTube, please do so. And we're also on TikTok as well.
Cool.
But my brother Jack does more of that. So.
Fair enough. All right.
I'm done.
Excellent. Thank you. Ember, do you want to promote your stuff?
Hello. So I'm mostly a streamer. Variety streamer. I do a bit of everything.
Yes.
Really, I have a very impressive pie chart of the games I've played in the past year, and it is in the hundreds. But no, I do a lot of indie game stuff as well. I work with a lot of developers to try and help the games. I get a lot of review keys.
Yeah.
So that's, I do a lot of first impression streams and stuff like that.
Nice.
Ember 2019 on Twitch.
Amazing.
So yeah.
Excellent. Thank you.
I am a big follower of Ember also.
What's the channel name?
Ember Shadow 2019.
All links will be in the show notes once this goes live.
Ember is amazing.
Yeah.
And also, yes.
I try.
Yeah.
No, you do so
We
well.
all try.
I mean,
As proven by
I'm
this
pretty
panel.
sure you've got 2 new followers by the end of this evening. So
There you go.
Yeah,
There you go.
as soon as
Gawny,
Pete shares the link, I will go over.
oh, there will be a link. Don't worry.
Hello, I'm Gawny. I mainly do content on YouTube, youtube.com/Gawny7789, which is GAWNY7789. I do a bit of everything, really, mainly Nintendo stuff for streaming and content creation, videos, shorts, all sorts of stuff on there. I'm on Twitter, Blue Sky, Facebook, Instagram, all sorts of other places. If you go to the YouTube channel, there's a link tree with all the other links to everything on there, and including my Movember donation thing I'm trying to do and plug at the moment. I raised over £160 so far for Movember, so hopefully to get that up. I got over £500 last year, so I'm hoping to increase on that from last year's total.
Nice.
So yeah, all up there.
Yeah, I'll post a link to that anyway, so we can try and get some donations.
Thank you.
Kylie, do you want
The
me to go
moment
next?
you've been waiting for, Kylie.
Wait.
Do you want to go next, or shall I go next before you start
I
ranting?
mean, I could go next, but it's
Let the guests go first,
I mean, there you go. I'm technically
Well, I did. Mike, if you want to dip at any point, Kylie could take about 20 minutes.
I mean,
Kylie, go on.
love you
Let's
and
go.
leave
Go
you
on,
all,
Kylie.
guys.
Go on.
Yes. So I am found at actually twitch.tv KILAY_WILDE. You could come see me Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 7 p.m. UK every time. Sometimes I play other games other than Hitman. Sometimes. Not very often, but sometimes. But we have a great time. We just have a good old time. There's nothing really required. You can just be yourself. Sometimes my zipper is lower than others. Especially when I'm trying to prove that I'm not Kylie Wilde, the adult entertainer. That really.
You are an adult and you are an entertainer. It's not those two
But not
together.
quite them two together yet.
True. I can't disagree. That really messed me up really bad because I kept getting tagged. I kept getting tagged into some Twitter posts. And I was like, oh goodness, oh dear. But then I found out that
you can see why this is taking 20 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They didn't mean me. They meant this other lady. But they kept tagging my dadgum, Twitter handle. But anyway, all that to say that you can check us out. We have a very, very welcoming committee. I meant community, but committee too. You can be
A welcoming committee.
welcoming committee. That works too. We're very, very open. We're very receptive. Come in, be yourself. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Mondays are Monday Mayhem Mondays. Wednesdays are Weird Wednesdays, and Friday are Frightening Fridays. You can come in and you can just chill. You can tell us about your day, how it's been, how it's kind of sucked, or if it's been great. We'll still appreciate your presence. And I think that's really all to say. KILAY_WILDE, twitch.tv. Come check us out there. Or you can check me out. I'm also on frick? What is it? YouTube. Yes. YouTube. I just blanked out. YouTube. Also, we're on TikToks. I'm kind of on X, Twitter. But like I said earlier, there was a weird mix-up with the adult film star who's known as Wilde. It really messed me up. I kept getting tagged in things. I'm not an adult actress, I promise. I just play Hitman. That's all I do. I play Hitman. Please don't tag me in those things. Yeah, please don't tag me in those
Pete's starting to lose the will to live, I think.
Exactly.
I'm starting to think when you was mentioning earlier, Kiley, like they keep inviting you over to say yes to us, and then they realise, oh wait, you're not the adult entertainer.
I got like tagged in so many things, and I'm like, no, that's not me.
Well, I'm going to have to love you and leave you now, guys.
Yeah, please.
That's okay. That's okay.
Thank you, Mike.
Bye, Mike.
Wonderful. It's been absolutely amazing. Mike is wonderful. Go follow him as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up. I just have had a crazy week where I discovered there's an adult actress with my same name. Oh, look, me. I'm Mike right now.
Amazing. Hi, Mike.
Yes. But anyway, so all of that to say, thank you so much to everyone.
Hang on a minute. You're not closing this show today.
Okay.
You're a guest.
I am a guest.
You
it's
are
true.
a guest. Shush.
I am. Okay.
And also...
Nobody tells me to shush, but I'll shush.
Nobody put the baby in the corner. Let me show you how this is done. Kylie.
Yes.
So, you can follow me at the Neville Watchers podcast. It's a film and TV podcast that I do every couple of weeks with my friend Kurt Lewin, who was on last week. We are covering Agatha All Along soon, which I'm not looking forward to. Let's move on. Anyway, if you want to follow this stream, this podcast, you can find us on all good and some bad podcast players, and on Twitch at twitch.tv/rapid reviews every Sunday from 7 to 7:30.
Yes.
But we're also on Twitter and Blue Sky. The links will be in the description. There you go, Kylie. That's how you plug yourself.
There you go. That is a very clean way of plugging yourself.
Yes. And with that said, this has been a very long discussion, so thank you very much for sitting in and listening to us drivel on for a long period of time, including Kylie's many rants about adult entertainers.
I know, right?
So let's thank the panel. So thank you, Ember.
Yes.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
Ember, follow her.
Thank you very much, Gawny. Been a long time coming as well.
Very good fun. Thank you.
Also, thanks to Mike, who's now disappeared because he's late.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah,
thank
too.
you. Thank you. And
Yeah.
Kylie, you're here every week, but still, thank you very much for your contribution as a guest today.
I am. And please stick around because we're still going to do a few minutes of after our post show.
Yes.
That makes sense? Probably not.
I was just about to mention that we do a pre and a post show on Twitch every week, so please stick around if you want to see some more chaos. But with that said, we're going to...
2 glasses of Prosecco.
She will not let me finish this goddamn podcast, will she? Jesus Christ.
No, I will not.
So, with that said, we are going to finish and close this out. So, thank you very much for listening, watching, however you consume this media. And we will see you and talk to you with an interview with the guys from SVB Games next week. Until then, goodbye. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Rapid Reviews Radio podcast. You can find the podcast on Anchor FM, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and various other podcast platforms. You can also find the video version by searching Rapid Reviews on YouTube and watch the podcast recording live on Twitch at twitch.tv/rapidreviews at 7:30pm UK time every Sunday. Please make sure to follow the podcast on Twitter at RRRadiopod, and for all the latest reviews, visit www.rapidreviewsuk.com or on Twitter at RapidReviewsUK.